If it's not coming through, it's not coming through. I mean, it's gone like the whole stream's gone.
I did. I cut it off and I just started it.
I'm hoping YouTube didn't cut us off thinking that we were playing the game. We're not playing the game.
There we go.
All right,
All right, guys. Sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened there, but something didn't like us there for a second. Tennessee ended up having to punt. So Houston now takes over, and on first down, they run the ball right side, gain for about 2 yards, going to bring up 2nd and 8. Apologize for the technical difficulties. Not sure what happened there.
Yeah, no, not sure at all. I think YouTube may have actually kicked us off thinking.
Hector says the man doesn't want to let it happen. I'm right there with you. I don't know what happened there. Our stream is healthy and everything.
Yeah.
It's like YouTube didn't want us there.
Yeah, and our end, it showed it was going to YouTube just fine. So
Watson, play action, looking left, looking down the field. He's got Hopkins for a big gain. Hopkins down at about the 28-yard line on that. Big gain with about 1 minute to go here in the first quarter. Hopkins wide open on that play. Just found the soft spot in the defense. And Deshaun Watson hit him in stride.
Yeah.
Watson under center here, the 28-yard line. First down and 10. Hands the ball off to Miller. Miller gets back to the line of scrimmage. May have gotten a yard on that. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 9.
45 seconds left in the first quarter here.
Appreciate you guys tuning back in. I'm not sure what happened there with the feed. Again, apologize for any technical difficulties. But appreciate you guys coming back in for sure.
Yeah, and we do, on our end, we can confirm that wasn't us.
No, definitely not. Watson here in the gun, throws a screen quick out to his tight end. His tight end with the hurdle gets past first down marker. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was Demaryius Thomas that caught that with the hurdle. Gets past the first down marker there and is down at about the 5-yard line. Looks like the Texans are going to let the first quarter run out here with just about 4 seconds to go.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to do.
And that's it. That's a wrap on the first quarter. Tennessee 5-5, leading the Texans 7-3, 10-7.
Yeah, and so far it's been a back and forth game here. Time of possession has been pretty even. Only it looks like Tennessee only had about 30 seconds more, 27 seconds to be exact, as far as time of possession. 7:30 for Tennessee and 7:30 actually for Houston. So it's going to be flat even on this.
Yeah.
Few other things that just from what I'm seeing, the rushing attempts, 8 rushing attempts for Houston, only 4 for Tennessee.
Yeah.
Mariota looking to hit his receivers more than he is handing that ball off to Henry or Lewis.
Right.
So that's going to be a game adjustment that they need to make and get more. And we're also seeing the rushing attempts. We're also seeing more yards per rush out of Houston at 7.1. Those 2 big runs that we saw there.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing a little bit of balance on offense from the Texans. The Titans obviously hitting the big play there over the middle to their tight end. It's been the battle of the big plays. You've had the big yardage runs like you mentioned from Texans. You had the big pass interference call against the Texans that helped the Titans, and then you had the big completion over the middle for 61 yards for the touchdown. So it's been the big play, the chunk yardage plays that have been the difference so far in this game.
Yeah, as a reminder, 10-7 with it. So we got 10-7 going into the second. Tennessee is going to be leading Houston. Hector says pretty even basically explains the score.
Exactly.
Yes, it does.
Exactly.
Sam says YouTube. Yeah, YouTube, that was YouTube's problem. That was not ours. Our feed was completely healthy going to YouTube. YouTube just took it down for whatever reason.
Yeah. But we appreciate you guys tuning back in. We got like 15 of you in here right now. Do us a quick favor. Just smash that thumbs up again. Unfortunately, it
doesn't count.
It doesn't. The first ones didn't count because it made us reset the feed. Again, we're just trying to get out there and get a few more viewers and get some more interaction, and each one of those thumbs up helps us do that. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we move into the second quarter as well, the other thing that we talked about, prior to the game, was what kind of role due to the injuries of these two quarterbacks playing this game.
Yeah.
Past injuries and previous injuries of these guys. So far, both of them have a 100% completion rate. Mariota 113 yards passing, Watson at 58 yards passing, both with one touchdown. So
yeah, again, Mariota, the yardage is helped out by the one big play. He literally was just a dump over the middle for 5 yards. It turned into a 61-yard touchdown. But here we go. Deshaun Watson from the 15-yard line here hands the ball off, or no, fakes the handoff and goes to the outside, fakes everybody out, including myself, gets the touchdown. As he faked the handoff to Miller, rolled out to his left, and beat the corner to the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Deshaun Watson. Texans go out in front, 13-10 here to start the second quarter.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's this is going to be a continuous back and forth game. It's looking like as long as the Tennessee offense can answer at this point, this could be another high-scoring game from what we're seeing thus far, unless these defenses can make adjustments.
All right, Houston here lining up for the extra point. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Gives Houston a 4-point lead at 14-10. That's the beauty of Deshaun Watson, man. We're starting to see that with Lamar Jackson a little bit in Baltimore, is that he can make plays with his arm, he can make plays with his feet. Deshaun might not have the flash that Lamar has with his feet as far as his ability to make people miss and his elusiveness and that kind of thing, but don't get it twisted. Deshaun Watson will burn you if you let him, and we saw that there on that play.
Yeah, absolutely. He can get out and get past you. That's one thing, like you said with Lamar, that you have to game plan for a quarterback like that.
Right.
We're seeing a lot of these guys in the NFL, but we're also seeing them make critical mistakes as rookies in their rookie year. Some mistakes out of Lamar that we've seen. Last year we saw Deshaun perform well, but he also had some mistakes and some things that wound up getting him hurt.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he was playing really well until the big knee injury, and lost for the year. Took him almost a full year to recover, and still kind of, like I said, getting acclimated to playing again. But again, we're starting to see him creep back to the form that he had before the injury.
Yeah. As the Texans kick it off, it looks like Tennessee is going to keep it back. Look like Jackson again going to keep it back for a touchback. So we're going to move on. That was a huge play by Deshaun. They keep showing that replay. Just knowing and reading the defense and knowing that you're going to be able to sweep everybody to the right so you can go left and just be able to beat the cornerback to the pylon. It's exactly what you needed to do.
Watson's another one of those guys, man. He's a gamer. You could tell how serious he is about the game and how serious he takes his performance week in and week out. He's a guy that you want to have on your team.
Right. Mariota under the gun. He's going to roll out to his right, looking downfield, and he's going to slide down at about the 27-yard line. So it looks like it's going to be a gain of about 2, maybe 3 there. He's looking downfield as he rolled out to the right. Looked like he was going to look for Henry there, but I don't know why he just didn't dump it off to Henry. He could have gotten a few more yards than Mariota could have.
Yeah, definitely could have gotten a little bit more yardage out of that, and then you avoid a possible injury or having to take a hit if you're Mariota. Yeah, he got down, he slid, but you like to throw that to your running back there.
Yeah. All right, so he's going to line up under the gun. Oh, and we're going to see, was that Lewis or Henry? I think it was Henry out there. Davis, he shoves it off to Davis. Davis has got a big gain, and Davis is going to get about 35 yards on the play, maybe 40.
Yeah, huge gain there. What a play.
It was a trick play there. They started Henry in the backfield in the shotgun. Mariota was out to the right, and then flipped it out to Davis. And Davis goes around the edge, beating the defensive line or defensive edge out there.
Yeah, that was the old Wildcat formation, and it fooled everybody, including Jadeveon Clowney there. And Davis beat everybody around the edge on the flip out from Derrick Henry. But unfortunately, it looks like somebody is down for the Titans.
It's going to be Tajay Sharp.
Yeah, it's Sharp. That's yeah. Players are taking a knee. Does not look good.
It looks like they're going to try and get him up as they break to commercial here.
There you go. Again, yet another big play in this game. It's definitely hasn't been the nickel and diming you 4
No.
and 5 yards here and there. This has been chunk yardage plays, and Tennessee kind of pulling out all the tricks out of the playbook, going back to the Wildcat formation. I remember when Miami kind of ran with that formation there for a while and took the NFL kind of by storm with it. Did really well there until there was tape on it and everybody could game plan on it and kind of figure out, where to game plan and where to stop it.
Yeah.
You saw some other teams kind of bring out their formations with it and whatnot, but for the most part, it's a gimmicky type thing. You use it once in a while. You can't and build your entire offense around it, but when you use it effectively, you can see what it can do.
No, absolutely. Well, the thing about Mariota is it's different. It's different from like the Ravens. When we saw the Ravens use it with Lamar, was Mariota's going to start going downfield a little bit,
Right.
and Joe doesn't do that. Joe just stands like a statue. Even his wife called him out on that. But it's always going to be interesting to see how Wildcat plays. And you got teams that'll they run it a few times and then they let everybody forget about it. And just know that they've done this before kind of thing. Or you got some of these other teams that run it once a game,
right?
Twice a game type deal. We have Lisa chiming. She says Thursday night football can't be here more quicker. Let's go Cowboys. We were joking about her being a Texans fan.
A Cowboys
she is a Cowboys fan.
All right. So just
Connor,
a football fan then if you're watching Monday Night Football.
Exactly.
I like it. I appreciate it.
Connor joins in. He says, "What's up? Go Texans. Ravens need this one."
Yeah.
This is true.
Absolutely. Any kind of space that we can get in the wild card hunt, and we knock one of these other teams that are in the hunt down another game is huge for us. So, yeah, definitely, if you're a Ravens fan, you're pulling for the Texans in this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which we are.
We do hold the edge over the Titans, however.
Yeah, we do hold the edge. But, look, if you can get that extra game space, because you're going to need it, Ravens have a tough schedule from here on out.
Very tough schedule from here on out. All right. Mariota's going to line up under center. He's going to have two tight ends, one running back, one wide receiver out to the right. Fakes the handoff, scrambles, and gets about 6 yards. Mariota he's playing cautiously. He's just gave himself up there about 2 yards in front of. And
I'm all right with that. If you're a quarterback or if you're a coach, you want your quarterback to do that. Get the yardage if you can, and then get down as soon as possible. Don't take the hit if you can't, if you don't need to. This is something I'm hoping Lamar Jackson learns very quickly.
Right. So now we're going to see 2nd and 5 with about 13 minutes left, just over 13 minutes left in the second half. Mariota's going to line up in the shotgun. He's got two flanked out to his right and left. He's going to dump it off to Lewis. Lewis is going to get the push. He's only going to get a gain of about 4. So now we're going to face 3rd and 1 here for Tennessee. Again, the thing about that we were talking about with Mariota kind of giving himself up. My thing is Mariota doing it out of trying to respect himself as far as health, or is he doing it because he's been told, do not get yourself hurt again?
Right, yeah. I mean, he's already dealing with a multitude of issues. Last thing you need is to irritate one of those.
Yeah, Mariota drops back, and he's going to push it over center. It's going to be good at the 20-yard line, and that was going to be good to who was
Stocker.
That? Stocker.
Yeah.
So Stocker gets a gain there. It looks like it's going to be a gain of about 6 or 7 on the play.
12 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Houston leading Tennessee 14-10 in what's been a pretty entertaining offensive game, which a lot of us didn't think going into this game we'd see much.
Yeah, Tajay Sharp just puts the helmet back on. Mariota lines up under center, rolls down to the left himself, direct snap to Henry. Henry hands the ball off to Lewis. Lewis turns upfield, gets a gain of about 6, maybe 7 here. So we were just talking about using the Wildcat more than once in a game.
Yeah.
And here they go do it again, except this time they lined Mariota up under center, had him roll out, direct snap to Henry, and you hand it off to Lewis. And that's the thing about a play like that, when you have two dual threat running backs in your backfield in a play like that, you have to game plan. You have to know, which way you can go, and you have to. If you go the wrong way, something like that happens where you get a big gain to get the first down.
Agreed.
So we're going to see. They got 2nd and 3 from the 5-yard line here. Mariota Lines up in the gun, 2 wide out to the left, hands the ball off to Henry. No, he fakes the handoff to Henry and gets stopped in the backfield by Reed.
Did he stiff arm Jadeveon Clowney on that play?
I believe he did.
We just talked about Mariota taking a 2-yard cushion on a slide, and yes, Mariota stiff arms Jadeveon Clowney
to the ground.
That is going to be on the game room highlight reel.
Clowney will not live that down.
He is going to get clowned for that
one.
Wow.
Exactly. What a play.
That's hilarious.
All right. Mariota's going to line up. He's got 5 wide, trips to the left, 2 to the right. Makes an adjustment with 4 seconds left on the play clock. 3, 2, 1. Gets the snap off in time. Looking downfield, scrambles up. Dumps it off to Lewis. Lewis gets hit. Extra push. I'll see where they spot this. This may be
about a half-yard short.
Half-yard short. We'll see what happens here.
Mariota dumps it off here to Dion Lewis. Dion Lewis makes the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, miss, and then he's, about half-yard short.
So we're going to go 4th and 1. They're going to go for it. And they're going to make a slight adjustment play call.
Hey, this is just trying to get them to jump off sides.
There's a timeout there. Interesting. 16 for 16 converting runs on 3rd and 4th down for Tennessee.
Yeah, on 4th and 1 or 3rd and 1. Yeah,
this season. So that's impressive. I don't know that that's a try and make them jump. I think that's a go for it. That call that was by Houston.
No, I know. I really think that Tennessee was lining up there just to try to get them to jump off sides, and then Houston didn't like something with the way that they were lined up and called the timeout there just to.
Yeah, they were lined up with 2 out to the left, 1 out to the right, and Mariota's going to come back out here.
So we are going to go for it here on 4th down.
4th and 1. I mean, if you're 16 for 16 and 3rd and 4th and 1, I don't blame them. I think you have to go for it at this point.
Absolutely.
All right.
Jadeveon Clowney, that is hilarious. He is not going to live that one down.
No. All right, so let's see how they roll this. There's going to be a question about the play clock. All right, here we go. You're going to set up with 3 tight ends here. No wide receivers out in the running back.
I formation.
Fullback is the stalker. Henry is your running back. And he's going to hand the ball straight off the stalker.
Oh, I don't think he got it.
No, I don't think he did. I think it's going to be no game. This is going to be Houston ball here.
Wow, Houston with a huge stop there.
Cunningham and McKinney look like they were the ones that stopped him here. Coming up out of the backfield, absolutely.
They had Stalker lined up as the fullback and hand the ball off to Stalker. Stalker goes to the right side, and Cunningham cold walled him, stopped him right at the line of scrimmage.
And then McKinney comes up and doesn't allow the second push.
Yeah, so this is going to be about a half-yard short. It's going to be 1st down for the Texans.
Yeah.
And a long field to go.
Wow. I think I just jinxed.
Yeah.
It's a little commentator jinx, isn't it?
Right. You can't talk about the stats.
Yeah, no, right? Wow. Well, I mean, I don't blame him going for that call. I mean, what do you think?
No. I mean, it's early in the game. You've got you're trailing by 4 here. Personally, I think you take the points. This is a division game. You're trailing this team by 2 games in your division. So this is an important game. If this was a 4th quarter situation where, you're down by 4, you've got 3 or 4 minutes left in the game where you only have that 1 possession maybe left if you get a defensive stop, I think you go for it there. You don't just take the extra, the field goal.
Right.
But in this situation, I think I would have liked to rather seen them take the points.
Yeah, no, I mean, especially this early on, you're down by 4 right now. I think the move there is to, if you get it, you make it a 3-point game instead of a 4-point game.
Yeah. We got 32 of you guys in here watching. Appreciate each and every one of you guys tuning in. Smash that like button for us if you wouldn't, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, some of you guys did before we had the technical difficulties, and YouTube decided to kick us off, thinking that we were, I guess, streaming the game or something.
Right.
I'm sure we'll probably get something on that later on, but figure out what happened. But yeah, no, we appreciate you guys joining us. as always, we are Birdland BS. You can see it on my hat at Birdland BS. This little thing right here up in the corner, this little rotating thing, that's our logo. Yep, we're fancy. We have it rotating. Fred figured out how to rotate it. So we have fun with this. We do this every Monday night. We had a few weeks that we mixed when I was on vacation.
Yep.
But we're back to doing it. We're having fun with it. We appreciate you guys. We got some regulars in the room. I know Tim is always in here. Hector, Connor, Sam, James. A lot of people actually have said, friends and family and people that we know have actually gone through and said that they turn us on while they're watching the game as audio. So,
yeah, we appreciate each and every one of you tuning in. This is, again, something new for us. We're not good at it, but we're trying to evolve as much as we possibly can.
First season doing it, so we're having fun with it.
Texans here on first down. Line up from the 3-yard line. Handoff is to Lamar Miller. Lamar Miller up the middle. Makes a guy miss. Makes a safety miss. And he's off to the races.
He could go all the...
And he does. Wow. Touchdown on a 97-yard run for Lamar Miller. No flags on the play.
Talk about capitalizing.
Wow. Not only do you make a stop at the goal line, but on first play of offense, you take a simple halfback dive, run up the middle, and make a 97-yard touchdown out of it.
Wow.
Holy cow. As the Texans throw a dagger into the heart of the Titans and go up 20-10 here. Lamar Miller, the veteran back, having a huge first half here.
Made 2 men miss there.
Yeah, man. Extra point is up and good.
Awful low snap that was.
Texans take the lead here 21-10, or extend their lead 21-10. Lamar Miller may need oxygen after that play.
No, absolutely.
Huge run.
He made, I didn't see who it was that he made miss the first time, and then he made the safety. I think, who's 31 for them? Who is the safety? Who is that?
Myers,
safety?
I think.
Myers? No,
Byers.
Jamerson.
No,
Charles Jamerson was the one that missed him the second time.
Pretty sure it was Byard.
Was it?
Yeah. But either way, I mean, he had on all 3 levels. He gets through the offensive line. He makes the linebacker miss. He makes the safety miss. And then it's a foot race between him and Adoree Jackson. And it had been another 5 yards. Jackson probably would have caught him. But that's why it's a 100-yard football field. And Lamar Miller, touchdown.
Yeah, no, absolutely. 21 unanswered points here for Houston.
Tim says, wow, nice first play. That should wake up the Titans. Yeah, if that doesn't wake them up, I don't know what it is. The Texans just punched him in the mouth with that kind of a defensive stop and then a huge first play there.
Yeah. I think second play this next drive, you're going to see Mariota try and go deep. Cunningham's back for the kick. Or kicks it. And it looks like we're going to see the return come out. About to about 24-yard line. And it was Jennings on the return. Wow, what a play.
Yeah.
I still can't get past that.
Yeah. Again, this has just been a tale of big plays in this game. That's all it's been. No nickel and diamond, just big play after big play. As they're showing Arian Foster, the former Texans running back, getting down with some, I don't know if that's karaoke or if he's got his own band or what's going on there. We'll see.
All right, Mariota is going to wind up with a fullback in the I formation. Fullback pushes out to the right. He's going to hand the ball off. That looks like it's going to be to Lewis. Lewis is going to bounce out and tries to get back.
There's a flag on the field.
There's a flag. And we'll see what happens here. Looks like it's going to be holding on the offense. Yeah, that's what it is, holding on the offense. Already the flags adding up for Tennessee on offense. Despite the 1 flag on defense for Houston, it's starting to hurt themselves at this point.
Tim says, go Seahawks. All right.
All right, let's see here.
That's Lamar Miller's second career 97-yard rush.
By the way, he's getting oxygen.
That's pretty impressive.
Mariota is going to line up, starts in the center, puts everybody in motion in the gun, puts Lewis out to his right, shifts Smith out to the left, Davis to his right. Looking back, he's going to dump it off to Lewis. Lewis is going to gain 20, about the 21-yard line, it looks like is where they're going to put him.
31.
Or is that 31?
Yeah.
It's all right. We're so far away from this TV sometimes. I swear.
It's going to bring up second down.
No, it is the 21.
Is
It's
it?
going to be second and 13 from the 21, yeah.
Oh, then I apologize. That's my eyes. Yeah, it is 21.
The play, if you're talking about the run, that was 97 yards, Hector. Mariota lined up in the gun, put Stocker to his left. Now he moving to his right. Lewis in the backfield, fakes the handoff to Lewis, getting pressure off the edge. Mariota's got to keep it. He's going to roll out, gets out to about the 30, and gets the first down.
Takes a little bit of a hit there as he goes out of bounds, but not enough to cause any kind of concern.
Yeah, no, it looks like he's going to get about 14 yards on that one. Looks like he's going to take it out to about the 35-yard line. And looks like we're going to have a timeout here for an injury.
Yeah, I couldn't see who was down.
I think it was done.
Camera crew not doing a very good job of showing who's down on the field right now, so it's hard for us to relay that information.
Yeah, 92. That is
done.
done.
It is done. His third season. There you go, Sam or Steve, Louisville guy.
Looks like Joe joining us again. What's up, man?
What's going on, Joe? Appreciate you tuning in, man.
Yeah, we got 40 of you guys watching out there. We appreciate it. We got 6 likes. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. A few people did earlier before our feed cut off for some reason. We apologize for that. We're back on. We've been steady. So make sure you hit that thumbs up button, like, share. You know, get us across any of the platforms that you're on, and that way more people can come watch us and get to know us.
And drop your comments in the comment field, man. If you guys want to interact with us, you got questions or anything you want to hear our opinions on, drop it in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like Mariota's going to line up under center again in the I formation. 2 tight end set. He's going to move Stocker in motion. He's going to hand the ball off to Lewis. Lewis is going to get stuffed in the backfield for a loss of about 4 there.
There he is, Joseph with the big play, the veteran corner. Again, this is a guy that, you know, what he lacks in speed, he brings to the table in his football smarts and his intelligence. Guy that's played a long career here in the NFL.
Yeah, so now, all right, so we're going to see Tennessee facing 2nd and 13 on their own 32-yard line. At this point, 2nd down, you need a big... If I'm Tennessee right now, I'm going to make a throw here. I know most people might call for a run, which it looks like what they may be setting up for. He's in the shotgun, and he's going to hand the ball off to Lewis. Lewis bounces, hits a wall, bounces back out to a right, and goes back up to the right side of the center, and he's going to get a gain of about 4. A little extracurricular activity there after the play. Looked like Conklin going at it with somebody. I couldn't see who that was.
6:30 left to go here in the first half. Tennessee trying to put a drive here together, trying to bring this lead down a little bit as they trail by 11.
So we're going to see 3rd and 9 from Tennessee's own 36-yard line here. Mariota's going to line up in the gun. He's got Lewis to his right, trips out to the left. And he's going to get some pressure. The pocket collapses, and Mariota is sacked.
Yeah, the pocket collapsed there. Pressure comes up the middle. Mariota really had nowhere to go on that play. Huge stop for the Texans defense.
Mariota's just not getting time in this pocket. This Houston defense is getting to him quick. And missing assignments, they're coming in clean.
Yeah, the center Klein there just got driven back. Tried to pick up the blitzing linebacker and pick up 2 guys and just wasn't able to recover.
Yeah.
As the Titans punt here, it's a short punt, but the ball takes a favorable bounce for the Titans as the ball rolls and continues to roll down to about the 13-yard line, which is where the Texans will take over here as they're going to try to put a little bit of more distance between them and the Titans here.
Deshaun and this offense is going to try and work their magic again after getting a last drive, a 1-play, 97-yard I want to say it was probably, 13 seconds?
Yeah, about that.
Play clock. So we're going to continue to see this. This game is just evolving before our eyes with this Houston offense. Time of possession so far in this game. Obviously, we'll have to really tell what the tail is at the half.
Right.
The time of possession doesn't tell a story of this game.
No.
Tennessee has had 16 minutes and 53 seconds of time with the ball versus 7 minutes and 51 seconds.
Again, it's been the big plays. It's
Absolutely.
been the big plays for the Texans. The Texans had the ball for however long it took to run 97 yards down the field. I mean, that might have been 20 seconds, if that.
It's quite possible, man.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's time of possession, albeit, is important. It really doesn't tell, like you said, the story of this game and how things are breaking down.
No.
Tennessee just needs to be able to put a drive together, and they haven't been able to do that. The Texans, again, one of the more formidable defenses in the league, and you've got a real good defensive front in Houston, obviously led by J.J. Watt and led by Jadeveon Clowney. These two guys are terrors for any offense. And when you have guys like that on the front seven, you've got to double team, you've got to chip, you got to eliminate them. But when you do that, you're compensating and leaving somebody else wide open, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the Texans attack.
One thing I noticed on that last drive that speaking of that with double team and things like that, I saw multiple times where Houston's really only rushing 4, so they're only rushing 4. And they've got 2 tight ends on the line to help with blocking, and they're still not able to get the job done.
Right.
Like you said, these tight ends need to be doing a little bit more chipping and getting down the field. Stocker's a big guy. He can handle some of these guys. He's a Witten type size.
Right.
But he really needs to step up.
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier before the game start. Houston took some time before the game to honor their fallen owner, Bob McNair, before the game in a pretty sad moment. Deshaun Watson hands the ball off the middle. Lamar Miller still recovering from that.
Blue this time.
Oh, no, it is out. Yeah, so he is still recovering on the sideline as Alfred Blue takes his first carry, gets about 5 yards there on first down. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 5. Watson hurries his team back up to the offensive line. Play action, rolls out to his right, throws over to his right, complete DeAndre Hopkins for the first down and gets out of bounds, but there's a flag on the play. Looks like they might be calling DeAndre here for offensive pass interference. No, they are calling it on the defense. They're going to decline it, and that was on Malcolm Butler there, the former corner of New England Patriots. Now playing in Tennessee, who's struggled pretty mightily this year. He's got his work cut out for him going against DeAndre Hopkins.
4:30 left in the second.
Watson here in the gun, hands the ball off up the middle. Alfred Blue gets another 6 or 7 yards on that play. It's going to bring up 2nd down and about 3. 4:20 here left to go in the second quarter. Houston again leading 21-10 over the Titans.
On their own 35-yard line right now.
Watson in the gun. He's got Blue to his right. He hands off. Blue up the middle. Gains about 5 yards on that. Picks up the first down as we get under 4 minutes to go here in the first half.
Driving up the field, 4 plays so far, 27 yards.
Texans looking to not only score here, obviously, before the half, but trying to run out as much time to keep Tennessee off the field and really put some separation between them and the Titans. Watson in the gun. He's got 4 wide receivers. Takes a snap, looks to his left, throws. He's got the ball completed for a gain of about 7 yards there on first down. It's going to be 2nd down and 3.
Is that Coty?
I think that was Coty. Cody, however you pronounce that.
Cody. I think it's Cody. Gain of about 7 there, it looked like.
Hector says, Hopkins is an aggressive-ass receiver. I don't know how he gets away with it. He's smart. He's savvy, man. He knows how to use his hands. He knows, how to kind of shade his body away from some of the refs and get away with certain things. He's again, very savvy and smart receiver.
Yeah, Malcolm Butler down, and that was a call immediately by the officials. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe I don't know if you just got the wind knocked out of him or what.
Yeah, and they're kind of showing what I was talking about earlier, where teams have been going after Adoree Jackson for Tennessee. These are two corners that going into the season, Tennessee had high hopes for, bringing in Malcolm Butler, who played well in his time in New England, but just kind of fell out of favor there. And you got a young guy in Adoree Jackson who showed promise early on. But now, Adoree Jackson obviously hasn't been playing well these last couple games. You've got now Malcolm Butler a little bit banged up as he comes off the field.
Looked like he was stretching his shoulder there.
Yeah. Puts Tennessee in a bad spot as far as corner goes. Watson here on 2nd down and 3 under center. He's got 3 wide receivers, single back, but they motion the wide receiver in I formation. Watson runs with the ball, gains about 2 yards on that. It's going to be about a yard short, so it's going to bring up 3rd down and 1. That was a designed run for Watson there, but really didn't have a whole lot of room to work with and a whole lot of room to go.
Yeah, no. Shinchigo Joe asks, Texans a Super Bowl threat?
If you'd asked me that prior to this season, I would have said yeah. I thought that they were kind of my sleeper team in the AFC. Right now, though, with the way the Chiefs are playing, I don't see them matching up well.
Right.
Watson here under center on 3rd down and 1, throws out to his right, short arms the ball as he had pressure coming again from all angles, but there's a flag on the play. We'll have to see. Watson kind of getting up a little gingerly after that.
Pulling out his lip there. Looks like he got hit.
There's holding on the defense prior to the pass, so it's going to be a 5-yard penalty and an automatic 1st down. So the Texans here continue their drive with just over 2 minutes to go in the second quarter, 2 minutes and 15 seconds. And you'll see, DeAndre Hopkins trying to make a move, would have burned the corner there. The corner reached out and just held on for dear life, and the ref was there to throw the flag. Watson under center here from the 46-yard line on 1st down and 10. Play action pass, looking deep, throws deep. He's got DeAndre Hopkins, but good coverage there. We give a lot of crap to Adoree Jackson, but good coverage there by Jackson. And
Hopkins looking back at Deshaun Watson, telling him he needs to get that ball up a little bit more.
Yeah,
and he's got that.
Yeah, good play there. Actually, a little bit of holding on DeAndre Hopkins' part there.
Yeah,
but Adoree Jackson able to get his head swung around, look at the ball, and watch that in. Made a nice play on that.
Yeah, we'll see when you get back, Tim. Tim's stepping out for a little bit.
Watson in the gun, takes a snap, hands it off. Alfred Blue gains about 6 yards on that. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 4.
2-minute warning.
As we come to the 2-minute warning. All right. So let's see. We got anything in here?
Joe says, what about the Chargers? Think they'll get it together enough to upset KC?
All right. So I'm actually pretty high on the Chargers. I do think that this is one of the better teams that I think Phillip Rivers and the Chargers have had in his run. I don't think offensively they can keep up with the likes of Kansas City. Mm-hmm. I do think that they could put a good game up against New England. But, man, Kansas City, as many holes as they have defensively, they can outscore just about anybody. I mean, obviously, they didn't outscore the Rams in that shootout, but it was a hell of a game. So I think the Chargers will be there. They'll be in the thick of things. The Chargers, the Kansas City Chiefs, and the New England Patriots, I think, are my 3 teams right now, 1, 2, and 3, in the AFC. So they'll be there in the thick of things, but I just can't see them getting past KC. KC's offense is just too lethal and too deadly.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They get too many weapons, running the ball, passing the ball. It just, Hunt, Hill, Mahomes is a threat within himself. It doesn't bode well for them. So I think it's definitely going to be a game.
Lisa asks, what about Dallas versus Saints? Who wins that game?
Sorry, Lisa. I know you're a Cowboys fan, but we talked about this last show.
Yeah.
We've talked about it on our show. It's the Saints are a different team, and they play in a league of their own. And look, I'm not saying by any means they're the best team in the NFL, but Drew Brees runs that team. And when I say he runs a team, obviously he's not making play calls on defense, but his moves and his ability to make plays happen drives that defense. While it's not one of the greatest defense, it does drive them to keep their team, make sure that their team is kept in the game. Because if they're kept in the game, if their defense can keep them in the game, Drew Brees can make magic happen quite often.
I will go out on a limb and say I think the Saints are the best team in the NFL right now. I think they're the most rounded team, offensively, defensively. I think the game plan that the Saints have and their ability to be unpredictable on offense and Drew Brees' ability to be as accurate as he is, they are a really good team. I do like what the Cowboys are doing, getting back to getting Ezekiel Elliott going, and you're seeing the effects in the passing game from that. So I do like the turn that they're making, but I don't think they compete with the Saints there. So Deshaun Watson on 3rd and 4, drops back for a pass, throws it out to the right side, but throws it just out of the reach of the tight end. It's going to bring up 4th down and 4, and it looks like the Texans may have to punt this one away.
An interesting move here, too, is they show Malcolm Butler, being taken off the field back to the locker room. Probably precautionary before the half starts. Daniel's going to be back here for the punt. Going to kick the punt off, and the Texans try to down it within the 5, and it drops back into the end zone for that touchback.
Yeah, so to just kind of wrap up my thought there really quickly, I think Dallas, again, making strides in the right direction. Things were a little messy there in the beginning of the year, but you're starting to see, again, the game plan offensively change for them, where Ezekiel Elliott's kind of carrying the load, and then you're seeing more production in the passing game. Now, obviously, having Amari Cooper, that brings another wide receiver threat into the mix that they had missed ever since Des Bryant's left. They haven't had that go-to wide receiver, and you're going to see the other wide receivers, Cole Beasley, mainly benefit from that.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to see Mariota here in the gun. He's going to be working with one tight end and trips out to the left. Now it looks like he's going to have Lewis out to his right. It's going to be a screen pass off to, was that Smith? No. I didn't check who that was. Sorry, my phone started going off. That was Batson. So Batson for the gain here, 1st and 10. So that was a gain of about 13 yards. Mariota, little shovel pass as he's getting pressure to Lewis. And it looks like there's going to be a flag on the play. Mariota feeling pressure quick there, tries to roll out to his left and does a little shovel pass off to Lewis.
I wouldn't call that a little shovel pass. That was an interesting shovel pass. The longest shovel pass I've ever seen.
Yeah. All right, we're going to see a face mask on the offense. And now that's going to be 15-yard penalty. So now they drop back now to their own 33. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line.
James, I'm there with you. Like I said, I don't think Dallas stands much of a chance against the Saints. I was just saying I like the moves that Dallas has made. I like the progression that we're seeing with them, but the Saints are just nasty right now.
He says he's a Cowboys fan.
Right.
He's saying
there's not many teams that are going to compete with the Saints right now.
All right. Mariota in a shotgun, 2 wide out to the right, 2 out to the left, puts Lewis in motion. Going to drop back, feeling pressure, rolling out to his right, feeling pressure from J.J. Watt, almost a hold there, and he's going to get to the sideline, gain of about 3, maybe 4 yards there. J.J. Watt calling for a hold there, and I kind of agree with him. That's a was a pretty clear hold to me.
Yeah, I just think they were blinded. They didn't see it at all because, I mean, if the refs were even looking in that direction, that was a clear hold.
Yeah, no.
Minute and 14 seconds left to go in the second quarter here. The clock is stopped as Mariota was able to get out of bounds there on that play. Tennessee does have all 3 of their timeouts, so they do have that in their favor.
Absolutely. Mariota is going to line up in the gun, 3 wide, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. He's got Lewis to his left in the gun. Fakes the handoff to Lewis. Feeling pressure again, and sacked yet again.
Yeah, Mariota.
He is just struggling.
Yeah, the offensive line is really not giving him time. Mariota really, you'd think he'd be able to, as mobile as he is, get out of the pocket a little quicker, be able to recognize that the pocket's collapsing around him. Either that or try to get rid of the ball, instead of taking these losses and now having to burn a timeout here.
Exactly. I mean, he dropped back far. He was the third and 29 now.
Oh, actually, correction. Houston takes the timeout here. I think they're trying to save as much time. Obviously they got Tennessee pinned back here. It's 3rd down and 29. If Houston can make a big stop here and they get the punt return, they should have decent field position with just about under a minute to go.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to see Mariota again in the gun. 4 wide receivers, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. He's got Lewis behind him in the backfield. He's going to hand the ball off to Lewis. Lewis is going to get hit. Lewis is going to try and run it back around and is going to take a loss for, it looks like, 7. J.J. Watt. He came right back into J.J. Watt's arms. That's going to be 4th and 34, Fred.
Yeah.
What a stop and what a defensive stop for the Texans to say, we're not going to let you march back down the field.
Yeah, terrible, terrible drive there by the Titans. Bad play calling and bad protection on the offensive line. Bad discipline by the offensive line. Obviously, had Taylor Lewan with the face mask penalty. That's his 2nd or 3rd penalty of the half already. So again, Tennessee's going to have to punt here, and Texans going to get the ball with decent field position with about 55 seconds left to go in the game or the first half.
Talking about that Saints-Cowboys game, Joe says that he thinks it's going to be tight at first, then go supernova in favor of the Saints after the half.
Tennessee punts the ball, takes a nice Tennessee bounce, and goes out at about the 38-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the Texans' 38-yard line. Texans all out of timeout, so they're going to have to be smart here. I mean, obviously, if you're going to work the middle of the field, you got to get up on the line and snap the ball quickly. You got to, spike the ball to stop the clock, or try to work the sidelines. I mean, obviously, that's the smarter route here. Yeah. Try to work the sidelines, get out of bounds, and save as much clock as you can to at least get yourself into field goal range and be able to put 3 points on the board before the half.
Absolutely. Make it a 2-score game.
Watson in the gun here. He's got Lamar Miller to his right. Takes the pass, looking left, steps up in the pocket, dumps it out to his tight end, who gets over the middle but doesn't go out of bounds, and it's tackled after about an 8-yard gain. There's 34 seconds left to go. Deshaun tries to get everybody up on the line. In the gun, takes a snap with 25 seconds left. Looking downfield, throws deep. He's got Hopkins, but was he able to keep his feet in bounds? And he does. Wow, what a catch. There goes again. Hopkins, man, just showing his savviness and his ability to just keep his feet in bounds while making a tough catch there.
Great.
And keeping the ball off the ground, right, so that there's no questions whether that's complete or not. Heck of a catch there by DeAndre Hopkins. It's going to be 1st down and 10 with 18 seconds left to go on the 30-yard line of Tennessee now.
Tennessee's going to call a timeout.
So already in field goal range. I think if you're the Texans here, you take 1 or 2 shots deep, try to get into the end zone, and if you don't, line up for your field goal here.
That's it. Yeah, I agree. That's exactly what you really need to do. Joe asked, "Is this the same team that dominated New England?" It's supposed to be. That's what you have to look at here. Ryan joining us. What's up, Ryan?
What's going on, Ryan?
Joe also asked anything new on that Jags-Bills brawl.
Man, that was nasty. No, I haven't really kept up on it today, so I haven't heard a whole lot about it. But, yeah, a lot of
that was just ridiculous.
Yeah, it was a bad situation there. Deshaun Watson in the gun from the 30-yard line. Again, 18 seconds to go, no timeouts. Got to work the sidelines here or take a shot in the end zone. Looking to his right, scrambles, goes up the middle, gains about 5 yards, but he's going to have to get up quickly, get up on the line, and spike the ball if he wants to get a field goal. 4, 3, 2,
Gets it down with 1 second.
1 second left to go. Was able to get the ball snapped and downed. Gives the Texans here a chance to put 3 on the board and, like you said, go up by 2 touchdowns before the half. Good drive there to end the game. Smart coaching decision by Bill O'Brien to go use those timeouts there after you had the Titans pinned back in near close to their end zone. So
again, we said make this a 2-point game. Make it even tougher for Tennessee going into the half.
43-yard kick lined up. It's a little to the left, but it gets through the uprights, and it's good. As Houston goes up 24-10, and that's a wrap on the first half.
Wow.
What a half, man. That's
some big plays.
Big plays.
Some big penalties as well.
Yeah.
Especially for Tennessee. Tennessee offense getting killed with holding, face masks. There was 2 face masks.
Yep.
It kills you. Those 15-yard penalties will drive you back, and that's what puts you at fourth and 35, 32, I think it was.
Yeah,
is what they were facing. So,
yeah, I mean, like you said, like we've been talking about all half. It's been the half of big plays. Obviously Lamar Miller having a huge first half there. Had the 97-yard touchdown run.
Yeah.
Had a few 15 and 13-yard run gashes there. So obviously a big half there for him. This is going to come down to second half as to who makes the fewer turnovers and who can clean up their act as far as the penalties go. Deshaun Watson with a pretty impressive first half.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Both QBs are doing okay. When I say okay, Mariota's not getting time in the pocket.
Right.
He's having to scramble way too much, and for the time that he does have in the pocket, he has hit some guys downfield. But the issue is they're rushing, with the exception of the first drive or so, Houston's only rushing 4.
Right.
And so to only be rushing 4 and have your quarterback have less than 2, maybe 3 seconds is ridiculous. Clowney and Watt are just getting around the offensive line with the swim moves, with just straight overpowering. We talked about it there at the end with Watt also getting a hold that they didn't call. So it's been nonstop.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at the stats in this game, Mariota, if you were just tuning in, you look at his stats, he's 12 for 12 for 157 yards. He's got the 1 touchdown and no interceptions. You think, well, he's playing a heck of a half. And he is when he gets the opportunities.
Exactly.
Like I said, I mean, the offensive line has struggled mightily with this Texans defensive front. It's pressure coming from all angles. I mean, it's coming up the middles. It's coming from the end. I do think that Mariota, with his ability to make plays with his feet and his mobility, he should be able to get away and be able to feel some of that pressure a little bit better.
Yeah.
Or, again, be smart, be a veteran, throw the ball away, don't take the loss. But, on top of that, like you said, you've got penalties that are Titans are just shooting themselves in the foot. It's costing them drives, and it's costing them points, and it's costing them the lead in this game.
Well, we've seen, too, on the offensive side of the ball, with as far as rushing goes, we've only seen we've seen 15 rushing attempts out of Tennessee, and we've seen 16 out of Houston. But Houston has 200 yards rushing between Blue and
Lamar Miller.
But on the other side of the ball, we've really seen a lot more of Lewis in this game than we have of Henry.
Yeah.
And so that could be playing a role in it as well. Or only averaging 4.9 yards per rush. That's not going to get you what you need it to when your offensive line isn't holding up for your quarterback to be able to get the ball downfield.
Yeah, when your leading rusher is one of your wide receivers.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
you're throwing screen passes.
No, it was the Wildcat
yeah.
run. You know, he had one opportunity. It was a nice 39-yard chunk, but that's a problem. You know, going into the year, I mentioned it a little bit earlier. When DeMarco Murray was in Tennessee for the past couple years, I've been calling for more Derrick Henry. This is a guy that I think he's like 6'3", and he's like 235. He is a big back. Yeah, I haven't seen a back of this kind of size really since Eddie George, the former Titan great.
Right.
And what I saw out of him in the little bit of usage that they were using him was he's a guy that he's a bruiser. He can make plays. He might not make the 50 or 60 game-changing big type of plays, but he can get 4, 5, 6 yards a carry if you pound him. And he's one of those running backs that he gets better as the game goes on. Defense starts to get worn down, and he gets stronger. But for whatever reason, they've never really game planned to use Derrick Henry in that kind of a role. And obviously this year they pick up Dion Lewis, which I think was a smart addition. You got to have that kind of change of pace type of running back and somebody that can catch the ball out of the backfield. And Dion Lewis is good at that. I mean, he did really well in New England with that role, and he does well here. It's just, when you've got a weapon like Derrick Henry, I don't understand why they don't use him more.
They're in a situation right now. They could really use the situation of quarterback by committee.
Right.
They have some strong guys that can really push the ball downfield. But it's the same situation that the Ravens started with at the beginning of the season. When Collins wasn't performing, you're going to bring somebody in. It started being a committee. Collins still wasn't. Now we had Gus Edwards, Buck Allen, and Gus Edwards has emerged.
Right.
If they gave, to your point, if they gave Henry a chance, I think you're right. I think Henry emerges a little bit stronger, as the number one back for Tennessee.
I think personally, and this is just my opinion on and you take it for what it's worth, I'm going to use the Ravens as a reference because it's what I know. It's we're a Baltimore sportscast, so we watch the Ravens every week, and we break down the Ravens every week. And I'm going to break this down a little further on our show tomorrow. But when you have an offense geared around a mobile quarterback, a guy who can make plays with his feet, and I'm not saying Mariota is on the same level as Lamar Jackson as far as his mobility goes, but he does have the ability to make plays with his feet, right? Mm-hmm. As a defense, when you're going against a mobile quarterback, you have to game plan for that.
You do.
You have to contain on the edges, and you've always got to account for where Mariota is and if he's going to break the run to the outside. So again, you got to play contain. When you do that as a defense, it opens up lanes through the middle because now the defense is not plugging 8 or so guys in the box and coming at you through the middle. They've got guys playing the outside to prevent against that quarterback with his legs making a play. And I think that's why we're seeing the success that we're seeing out of Gus Edwards in Baltimore is that now with them having to game plan for Lamar Jackson and playing contain on the outside, it's opening up these lanes, and you've got a runner like Gus Edwards who's a north and south runner.
He's not going to get fancy and try and bounce out.
Right. He's taking what the defense is giving him. If you're going to play contain and keep guys on the outside, I'm going to get the ball at 100 mile an hour and hit the middle and hit the holes. And that's why we're seeing these big chunk yardages from Gus Edwards. Derrick Henry can be that same type of back. He's got the ability. He's not a real shifty guy. He's not a guy who's going to try to bounce outside of the pocket and make plays outside. He can be a north-south runner. And with Mariota as your quarterback,
yeah,
I think it's a scheme thing for me. Obviously, you got to change the way your offensive line blocks. You can't be a zone blocking offensive line. You got to be more of a downhill offensive line.
To your point, I mean, when did they have the most success here in the first half? Well, it was when they had both Henry and Lewis in the backfield.
Right.
Then you have Mariota. Those Wildcat schemes, that's why those work, is because you have two guys that are out here that are threats, and I'm sure one of them can throw the ball if need be. Right. And Mariota out there, who you know has the ability to run if he gets the ball, if you have to do a little screen pass or something along those lines. But when you have that running back by committee and you put two running backs, it's hard to game when you got two running backs out there, whether one's at fullback or they're split out to the sides of the quarterback in the shotgun. It just, you have to know, I got this guy, I'm spying him, but I also got to spy the quarterback, because if they do a double fake and the quarterback's over here and everybody's shifting out to the left, right, and the quarterback's out to the right and still has the ball, well, you didn't game plan for the quarterback having the ball in that situation. So you have to really pay attention, and the more that you do that, the better it's going to be. Let's do a quick roll call, guys. So I know we got several people chiming in. I know Ryan, Brent, Joe, Connor have been chiming in. So we appreciate you guys. We're gonna get to your comments here in a second, but let us know, where you're watching from, how you heard about us. Make sure you hit that like button. We got 30, I think we got 35, 37 of you guys watching now. We got 9 thumbs up, so make sure you hit that thumbs up. We really appreciate it. It lets us know that you like our content and everything that we're going through, and it also helps when you're searching for us, or when people are searching for us, so that we can keep moving up that chain and keep growing as we do this and get bigger. So,
for those of you that don't know us, I'm Fred. This is Scott. We are Birdland BS. Again, we're a Baltimore-based sports podcast. We do a Baltimore sports. We kind of cover everything from the Ravens to the Orioles to the Terps. We even get a little bit into the DC sports with the Capitals and the Wizards. Obviously, we don't have our own NHL and NBA team, so we're fans, and we watch them quite a bit. We host a show every Tuesday night live. It's live streamed on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So if you're a fan of our content and you just want to listen to us talk some Baltimore sports, be sure to tune in every Tuesday night at 8:45 here on YouTube. So make sure you hit the subscribe button down below so that you and turn on your notifications so you get the notifications when we go live.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're wanting to check out some of our content, we've got tons of videos here on the YouTube channel. You can find more on Facebook. Also, check out our website at www.birdlandbs.com. On there, you'll find all of our audio podcasts. You'll find out a little bit of information more about us, and also all of our gear. As Scott's wearing one of our hats there, we've got shirts. We've got all kinds of stuff.
And this is a nice hat, by the way, Fred.
Oh,
this is
Under Armour hat.
Under Armour hat. It's nice. So definitely be sure to check it out. Ryan chimes in and says he's going to miss tomorrow night. He's one of our regulars for our podcast. Date night overrules us, apparently. We may have to have a conversation with his wife. Come on now.
Understood, man.
No, but so we did have Joe chime in. He says 3 of Pittsburgh's last 5 opponents are the Saints, Chargers, and Patriots. What are their chances going into that storm? That's a tough lineup to go through, especially when you're struggling like the Steelers have been. Just not being able to finish games. That's their biggest struggle, and you're going in against 3 teams that have been able to finish games.
Yeah, the Steelers have been so Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, this year as far as there's been stretches and there have been games where I thought, man, this team could be a serious threat in the AFC. And then there have been games where I thought, man, this team's fallen flat on their face, and they've got all this controversy going on in the locker room. You had the Antonio Brown stuff and the Le'Veon Bell stuff and all this distraction type stuff going on around them. But look, they put it together. They're leading the AFC North. They do have a bit of a tough schedule. Obviously, the Saints and Chargers and Patriots, none of those are guaranteed wins at all.
Connor also says don't forget about that divisional game against Cincy, too.
Yeah, Cincy, it's an important divisional game, but Cincy's kind of fallen flat on their face. Andy Dalton is now out for the season.
Thumb injury.
So, Cincy's kind of fallen off the map there. But yeah, I mean, nonetheless, it's still an important division game. Absolutely.
Yeah. Connor says he found us actually from our boy Engraven.
Oh, okay.
Another great channel. Go check him out. Engraven Vids. He does a lot of takes, especially on the Ravens. That's the majority of what he does. He actually came up, went to a game with us.
Yeah.
So it was good to see him. Good to meet him. So
supposed to be doing a collab video with him on Wednesday.
Nice.
Just breaking down some things and kind of giving our takes on things. So be sure to tune in for that. Engraven and me going back and forth.
And yes, Greg, Houston is winning 24-10 as we get ready to start the second half, and the Titans are going to be kicking off to the Texans here, as the Texans are going to look to march down the field yet again.
Yeah, absolutely. Already up 2 scores here with a 14-point lead. Suckup kicks the ball off. It's going to be fielded about halfway in the end zone. Nope. Ball goes over his head and out the back of the end zone for a touchback. Gives the Texans the ball 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Connor says, do you think Boswell would have thrown that touchdown at the 1-yard line against Denver rather than Ben throwing that interception at the 1? Yeah, that was there was no good out of that Roethlisberger throw. Even if that wasn't intercepted at the defensive line, that would have been picked by the safety there. That was a bad decision on his part altogether. Deshaun Watson under center here. He's got Lamar Miller in the backfield, hands it off, gets back to the line of scrimmage, but that's about it. So no gain on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 10. Byard there with the tackle.
Casey got in the backfield there pretty quickly. I almost had him by the Lamar Miller by the shoestrings there.
Hey Tanner, appreciate you tuning in, man. Lamar or Flacco. We're gonna get into that tomorrow, man. Make sure you tune in.
Yeah, definitely tune in.
Watson in the gun here. He's got Lamar off to his right. Play action, looking over the middle, throws just out of the reach of Demaryius Thomas. As Demaryius Thomas was running a slant route across the middle. Would have been a decent gain there, but Watson throws that ball just about 4 or 5 inches over Demaryius Thomas's head.
Yeah. And Tanner, just to touch on that Lamar Flacco thing, Fred and I are both going to go off on this a little bit tomorrow. We're actually going to have Matt Stevens joining us as well, who's somewhat of a Ravens insider to us.
Yeah.
So he'll be on. So be on the show. Check out the show tomorrow.
Watson in the gun. Lamar Miller to his left. He's got trip wide receivers to his right. Looking to his right. Dumps it off to his tight end for a big gain. Good block by one of his wide receivers. I think it was Cootie there.
Yeah, I think it was Cootie on that, and then Griffin was on the catch there.
Yeah, Griffin with a big gain. Good blocking there by Cootie. Is it Cootie? Cootie?
I think I'm gonna call it Cootie.
Cootie. That's what we're going with. Yeah, no coverage there on the tight end, so he had a good gain there. Takes it down to about the 48-yard line. 1st and 10. Watson in the gun, hands the ball off to Miller. Miller goes right side of the line, breaks it up. He's got 10, 15, 20 yards down at about the 32-yard line. But there's a flag on the play, and it's holding on the offense. So this is going to come back. Yet another big run there by Lamar Miller. But this one was aided by a little bit of holding.
Yeah, no, that didn't help him at all to have the holding there.
Yeah, good call. Davenport got the arm up underneath the helmet there.
Up underneath the chin strap.
Yeah.
Tim's back. Welcome back, Tim.
Appreciate you coming back.
And we got 44 of you guys watching. We got 9 thumbs up. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Make sure you give us that credit so that we can come up in the searches, and we can also know that you guys are liking what we're doing here.
Watson in the gun. Lamar Miller to his left. He's got 3 wide receivers. Looking to his left. Looking over the middle. Throws, but it's incomplete. As a tight end drops the ball there. Ball did hit him in his hands, but good coverage there by the safety. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 20.
That'd be Jordan Thomas on the drop there. As this team continues to show and dominate, we are seeing a little bit of Tennessee putting a little bit of pressure on them.
Yeah.
Maybe making some adjustments here going into the second half.
Sean Watson in the gun. He's got backs on both sides. 3 wide. looking left, dumps it off to Blue. Blue takes it for a gain of about 12 yards on that, gets back into Tennessee territory. It's going to bring up third down and about 8 on this play. Just about 13 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Actually, third down and 7.
So they're going to be on their own 49 here. Oh, they're going to spot this on the other side of the 50, so they're going to be at the Tennessee 49.
Yeah. Watson in the gun. He's got Miller to his right. Looks to run, goes through the middle, and it's going to be short by about 2 yards there as he gains 6 yards going over the middle, and he's tackled by the linebacker there. It's going to bring up fourth down and 2. I don't know if you're Houston on this. Do you take a chance or you try to pin them back? And it looks like they're going to try to pin them back. It's fourth down and 1.
You got to put a nice soft touch on the kick here. Pin them back inside. You definitely got to pin them back inside the 10.
Oh no, they are going for this. Watson in the gun on 4th and 1. He's got trips to his right. Takes a snap, throws over to his left, complete to Hopkins for the first down, gains about 5 yards on that. So, again, it was one of those calls where you're on the other side of the field, you're out of field goal range, you got a 2-touchdown lead. Do you try to extend the drive or not? And they do. O'Brien goes for it, and it pays off.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's perfect if Hopkins getting out of bounds there as well, or as he was pushed out of bounds. I think he wanted to turn and go up the line.
Watson hands the ball off to Miller. Miller to the left side, runs and gains about 5 yards on that, but yet another flag on the play. Seems like every time Lamar Miller touches the ball, there's a flag on the play anymore.
Holding again.
Another holding call. This one on Zach Fulton.
Going to be a 10-yard penalty, dropping him back to the 48 now.
Yeah, going to bring up second down and 20 again. Or first down and 20.
First and 20, yeah.
First down and 20, sorry.
Man, just the coverage by Tennessee, the beginning of the game was a lot different. There was a lot more open passes, especially for guys like DeAndre Hopkins getting downfield. And they're just exploiting Jackson.
Watson in the gun. Looks left. Looks over the middle. Dumps the ball off. He's got Cootie over the middle. Gained about 5 or 6 on that. It's going to bring up second down and about 15 yards now. Deshaun Watson trying to continue this drive, trying to get more points and extend the lead here for the Texans.
Yeah, DeAndre has been off the chain as a starter here. 14 touchdowns, most from any QB.
Yeah, with Watson.
From Watson. Yeah, there you go. 1,500 receiving yards.
Yeah, him and Watson have a good chemistry together for sure. Now with Demaryius Thomas, it should even get better.
Yeah.
Watson looking left, hits Hopkins, gains about, I'd say 7 or 8 yards on that. It's hard to see depending upon where they spot the ball. It's going to bring up third down and about 4.
Looks like they're going to spot it about looks like maybe 33, 34, depending on where they're saying the ball was. Looks like it's going to be the 33-yard line.
It's going to bring up third down and 5. So this is DeAndre Hopkins' 4th season with 1,000 yards, as we're still only in week 12.
Yeah.
Watson in the gun here on 3rd and 5, looking to his left, looking over the middle, scrambling out of the pocket, tries to fake the pass. He gets away from the linebacker, but still going to be short of a first down. It's going to bring up 4th down and 2. If you're the Texans, you're definitely in field goal range now.
Yeah,
you line up and take the points here and go up 17.
Yeah, I think you have to there. Good pressure by Tennessee this drive, being able to stop them from getting additional points. Additional big points, I should say, with getting a touchdown. But definitely seeing a little bit more adjustments on Tennessee's side, and it doesn't look like Deshaun and the offense are 100% ready for it. Quick shift there by the Tennessee defense before that kick. Still up and good, but quick shift. And they actually had three linemen find the hole there.
Yeah.
Going up for that block. It was fairly close to being tipped, but still up and good. So they go up 27-10, Fred. That's going to be a continuous problem for Tennessee to have to fight back from this deficit that they put themselves in, down 2 scores in the first half.
Yeah.
Now,
the way that this Texans defense is playing right now and the pressure that they're getting on Mariota, they're going to have to do something to change their game plan. They're going to have to get the ball out quicker, maybe do some short screens, maybe do some short slant routes, that kind of thing. Get the running game going.
I was going to say that's where my mindset is.
Yeah.
We talked about it during halftime, or right during halftime. You know, you have to see this running game step up, and I think the only way you do that was what we were saying. I think you have to do what was working in the first drive of the game, and that's to have both Henry and Lewis on the field, whether you put them in a dual running back mode or a running back fullback set in the eye. Either way, you've got to open up this running game a little bit more, because then you're going to allow Davis and Smith to get downfield for some of those bigger plays, as well as I think Stocker to also be able to get down across the middle and be able to open that up. But that's the only way you're going to do that, is to actually have them go through and run the ball.
Yeah.
They haven't done it. They haven't done this game as much.
Absolutely.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
We got 41 of you guys watching. Make sure you hit that like button. We appreciate it. Spotlight Sports says just subscribe to the channel. Live streaming to I support.
Oh, well, we appreciate it.
Yeah, no, we appreciate that.
Appreciate that, man. Hey, this is only our 4th go at it. So we're still trying to figure out ways to get better with this. We got some plans for upgrading the scenery a little bit behind us.
Yeah, no, that'll come with time.
Yeah, and then we appreciate each and every one of you guys tuning in as always. We appreciate all the comments in the field, the interactions. Again, I say this every week, but this is 4 hours sometimes for us going straight, no commercial breaks, and sometimes it's hard to fill the air. I mean, I love to talk, but man, 4 hours straight's a whole lot of talking. So anything that you guys want to interact with us, any questions that you have, any comments about the game, please drop them in the comment fields, and we'll try to get to as many of them as possible. We appreciate all the comments for sure. As the Texans are lining up here to kick the ball off. Again, 17-point lead here with 8:53 to go in the third quarter. Houston looking to go 8-3 on the year. The kick is off, and Tennessee fields it about halfway in the end zone, brings the ball out, gets out to the 20, and is tackled at about the 22-yard line. So, not the greatest of field position for Tennessee as they try to mount some sort of a comeback here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They've got to go off here and really show what they can do again with the running game. It's just going to be critical that they go through and show it. Mariota's going to line up under center, trips out to the right. He's going to have Henry in the backfield. He's got Lewis Henry's on the line.
And
Henry's going to get a big break. And he's going to get about 8 on the play. So continuing to see them move down the field, it looks like we're going to see maybe it looks like they give him 8 or 6. So they're going to give him 7 actually. And here we go, Mariota under center, and they blow it dead. It looks like it's going to be a false start on the offense.
Tennessee shooting themselves again in the foot here. You get a nice chunk yardage play there by Derrick Henry with a 7-yard gain on first down, and you negate that with a stupid penalty.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's these dumb penalties that we've talked about with this offense, and especially this offensive line in this game has really just been not even just with their play, but with their stupid mistakes and the penalties. It's been killing Mariota in this offense. So Mariota's going to line up in the gun, 2 wide out to the left, 2 wide out to the right. 3 tight end set. He's got Henry to his left, steps back, fires off, and that looks like it's going to be to Pruitt. So Pruitt's going to get the first down. Looks like that's going to be a gain of about, we'll call it about 8, 9, maybe even 10 there, depending on where they spot this when his knee was down there. It looks like they're going to spot it at about the 37. So 1st and 10 from the Tennessee 37.
Mariota's still perfect on the day, 13 for 13 now.
7:30 left in the third. He's going to wind up with 2 wide receivers out to the left, 2 tight ends set to the right. Henry in the backfield sends Davis in motion, dumps it off to Henry. Henry's going to get it off to the left side and he's going to get a gain of about 8 on the play. He takes it out to about the Tennessee 45.
Yeah, we just talked about this a couple minutes ago. You got to get your big back involved. You got to wear this defense down a little bit, and you got to attack them through the middle, north and south, and we're finally starting to see that with Tennessee's offense here, at least early on in this drive.
Yeah, absolutely. Mariota is going to set up under center again. 3 wide receivers. 1 tight end set to the left. Henry in the backfield. He hands the ball off to Henry, and Henry gets to the line, and he's going to get a gain of about 1. You're going to see a 3rd and 1 here from their own 46. So Henry getting the ball, showing what we said. Yeah. He's able to drive. He's a north-south runner, able to get upfield and get these plays a little bit closer. Now we're going to see it again. Mariota's trying to get the play without the huddle. Looks like he's going to make a change here. Changing the play call. He's going to go with a 3 wide receiver set. 1 tight end set to the right. 1 tight end set to the left. Henry set to the left behind him. Henry's going to get to the line. He's going to get past the line of scrimmage. Gain of about 5 on the play. And it's going to be a 1st and 10 on the Houston 49 as they cross midfield. Huge play for Henry to get across midfield. They've been struggling to get across midfield moving forward. Mariota steps back. Pressure, he's feeling, and Marcellus with the sack, loss of 6 yards. They're rushing 4 all day and still able to get to him.
That's the problem I'm talking about with Mariota there. Mariota needs to be able to feel that and get out of the pocket, or if you can't get out of the pocket, get rid of the ball. You can't take these kind of losses. And, I mean, he got clubbed there by Marcellus, and he went down. It's just silly things like that frustrate me. When you got a quarterback of Mariota's ability.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We've talked about that before. All right, Mariota's going to line up in the gun. Trips out to the left, 1 out to the right. He's going to step back. Again, pressure, and again sacked for a loss of 4 this time.
Yeah, well, this one I'm not going to put on Mariota. Mariota felt the pressure. Yeah, he felt the pressure. He tried to step up and go through the middle. He got tripped up there, so he was trying to make a play here. But nonetheless, the pressure from Tennessee or from the Texans defense has been relentless in this game. Yeah, I don't know how many sacks that is on the game, but that's got to be at least 5, if not 6 sacks in this game.
Yeah, and it looks like we're going to have...
Is that Taylor Lewan down again?
I think it is. Looks... Trying to look now. Yeah, it is. Taylor Lewan down again.
Yeah, Spotlight Sports Talk chimes in and says offensive line can't hold blocks right for him. No, you're absolutely right. It's the offensive line is terrible. I mean, they're getting pressure around the edge. They're getting pressure through the middle. But Mariota, I mean, when you see that and when you feel that, you've got to get rid of the ball quicker. And from an offensive game plan, like we talked about, you gotta attack the middle of the field. You gotta attack the middle. With short routes, with screen plays, you got to figure out ways to get around the pressure. You got to figure out ways they're going to get the offensive or get the defensive line away and backed off a little bit of the pressure. And Tennessee so far hadn't been able to do that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Joe chimes in and says the Tennessee Titans, ladies and gentlemen. And he's exactly right. That's the way they've been playing. He also asked, do we think Indy has a legit shot? If they keep playing the way that they have been, if Luck continues hitting his tight ends when he needs to in the red zone and getting Ebron, getting Doyle the ball, they can.
I think they have a shot at making the playoffs. I think they're sitting there at 5-5. I do think that they have. I don't think that they're going to win the division. I think Houston runs away with the division here, especially with the remaining schedule that they have. I was looking at it earlier. You know, when you first look at this in the beginning of the year, you would think that this is a little bit more daunting. But you've got this game here against the Titans, which are sitting pretty good right now. They're at home next week against the Browns. Then the Colts come to town, and that'll be the game that kind of decides, especially if the Colts are still playing hot at that point. But then they've got on the road against the Jets. They're on the road in Philly against the struggling Eagles. And then you're at home to wrap up the season against the Jaguars, which, again, we talked about this when we first started. The Jaguars are not the team that we all thought that they would be this year. So they've got a pretty decent shot at wrapping up the division. But I do think that Indy can compete for a wild card for sure.
Yeah. Lowen went down, had I forget who it was there, rolled on the ankle. So it looks like he may be probable there. All right, Mariota's going to line up in the gun. He's going to set out with 2 wide out to the left, 2 tight end set to the right. Has Lewis in the game, scrambles, shovel pass to Lewis. Lewis gets out to the 50, hits a blocker, and then gets maybe an extra yard out of it down to about the 47-yard line, it looked like.
Tyrann Mathieu with a huge hit there on Dion Lewis. But that's going to bring up 4th down here.
J.J. Watt applying pressure and had Mariota close to the line of scrimmage, but Mariota able to do the shovel pass forward to Lewis.
Yep, so
Tennessee's got to punt it now, yet again.
4th and 9. Tennessee punts the ball. Texans fair catch the ball at about the 12, 13-yard line, we'll say. 3:37 to go in the third quarter. The Texans leading the Titans 27-10. If you're a Titans fan, you're frustrated. I know this has kind of been the tale of the team all year. It's been very, very up and down. Their offense has been extremely unpredictable as far as what you're going to see, inconsistent. And their offensive line has been atrocious this game. They not holding their blocks like they need to, as Sportslight mentioned. It's getting ugly.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's not. It hasn't been what Tennessee wanted it to be, but I'm sure this is everything that Houston really was wanting and game planning for this game to be. They wanted to have the defense, and their front set be able to play well against them.
Real quick, hey Tim, I appreciate you trying to get us some subscribers, and I appreciate you doing everything that you do. But hey, man, we can spread the love around. Spotlight's doing his thing on his channel, and he's doing his thing, and he's got his audience.
Nice clean look on them.
Yeah, man, and he's tuning in. Appreciate all the comments that he's had here. So, just let him be and let him do his thing, and let the audience pick who they want to listen to. We appreciate it, though, for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we appreciate Spotlights. You guys are doing your thing, too, kind of streaming the game. So give some love to you guys as well. I actually got you going in our background here, just seeing what's going on. I like the nice clean look there that they got.
Right.
So it's a nice channel. We talked about it. Continuing on what we were saying with this offense, they've just been getting killed at the line of scrimmage. Mariota is not getting any time. We continue to see rushing 4. Occasionally they'll bring a 5th rusher, but they're getting to Mariota with 4 rushers. In today's NFL, you need to have an offensive line that can handle 3 to 4 rushers, period.
Yeah.
You can't, if you have an offensive line that can't handle 4 rushers, if I'm Houston, I'm not necessarily going to change my game plan, but I might be sending a 5th rusher in there every once in a while for more to get that sack, because you're already not giving Mariota time, and you can close out that middle gap like we saw on the 1 sack. And Mariota just isn't able to run out with the ball. He's not smart enough to. I don't think he has. I'm not saying he's dumb, but I don't think he's exhibiting the smarts.
Watson here on first downs under center, hands the ball off to Miller. Miller goes up the middle, gains about 8 yards. I'm sorry, that was Alfred Blue. Alfred Blue gets about 8 yards on first down. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 2 as the Texans continue to gash in the running game. It's been a huge game for the running backs, particularly Lamar Miller. having a big game. Watson under center here on second down. Hands the ball off to Blue again. This time stopped about a yard behind the line of scrimmage. So that's a 1 yard loss on that play. Is going to bring up 3rd down and 3. Yeah, Tennessee needs a big play here on defense. You know, if the offense is struggling the way that they are, Tennessee needs the defense to give the offense good field position, either in the way of a turnover or a stop here, and pin this team back and give their offense good field position.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, the Titans and team P's in this defense need to step up and show that they can put another stop together. And hopefully this time not have Houston put any points on the board.
Looks like the Texans are going to play this without their left guard, as their left guard comes off the field here.
I know you're not even going to try and pronounce that name.
Nope. I am leaving.
Semiocoletomy.
I'm letting that one go. Deshaun Watson here in the gun on 3rd down and 3. Looking to his right, looks left, feels pressure, gets tripped up, and he goes down. As I know he's got to be frustrated with that when he tried to avoid the pressure, but's grabbed at his foot and tripped up and is taken down for the sack, loses about 3 or 4 yards on the play there. It's going to bring up 4th down and about 7. So Texans going to have to punt.
2 questions came in real quick regarding well, here I'll get to them in a second after the punt. Yeah. As we see Texans give a deep punt here. High punt, deep punt, fielded at about the 34-yard line. And Jackson looks like Jackson on the carry. Yep, and he's going to get out to about the 49, the Tennessee 49. So 1st and 10 from the Tennessee 49. Return of 16 yards there. So we got 2 questions regarding Green Bay. One is, Joe asks, here's the thought, is Rodgers done in Green Bay? And also Brent asks, does Green Bay run the table?
I do not think Rodgers is done in Green Bay. I think McCarthy would go before Rodgers is going to go. They need a change there. Obviously, those two are not on the same page when it comes to the direction of the offense, we'll say. You know, they've got a good thing there with Jones at their running back position. Obviously, Rodgers and Devontae Adams are good. But some of the late game play calling has been rough, to say the least, for Green Bay. So I think McCarthy's days are numbered there in Green Bay. Spotlight asks, do y'all think the Raiders are tanking?
That's a good question. In my opinion, if I'm them, I would at this point. You know, to go, you're already trying to get draft picks, so why not just kind of go for it? But Gruden is not that kind of coach. He is going to make play calls. We saw him very animated. I was actually, you and I were both at the Raiders game yesterday, and we saw, at least from my perspective, I was on the visitor sideline. I had really nice seats. My boss gave me yard line or goal line seats, 12 rows back on the visitor sideline. So got to see quite a bit of Gruden, and Gruden was, as always, animated. You're not animated if you're tanking. I hate to tell you that. But for me, if I am them, I would say maybe I'm not playing at my hardest. But you're not giving the other teams a chance at that point. That you're not giving your guys a chance, but you're also not, you're making the NFL a crux at that point.
I don't think that they're tanking. I think that they made a decision when they hired John Gruden, and John Gruden was kind of clear in his direction as to what he wanted to go with the franchise, and that was obviously they're going through a retooling, a rebuilding process there. Obviously, they've made some deals here to pick up some more first-round draft picks, and obviously getting a first-round draft pick for Amari Cooper is huge. I mean, yes, Cooper's doing good things in Dallas now, but to be able to get a first-round pick for him when some of these other wide receivers that were dealt were getting 4th and 5th-round picks, big get for Oakland. So I don't think they're tanking, but I do think that they're playing limited with the players that they have.
Yeah. All right, and so we're going to see Mariota's going to hand the ball off to Henry. Henry's going to put it up the middle. Gets a gain of about 7 yards. Now going to see second, or I guess this was 2nd and 9 at the 50. As they show the Tennessee owners, All right, Mariota under center again from the 50-yard line. He's got Henry in the backfield. He's going to hand it off to Henry. Henry's going to bounce out a little bit to the right. Gets a gain of about 8. Looks like we're going to see third down here, 3rd and 2.
So Connor asked, are the Chargers overrated? They've had one of the easiest schedules. I don't think they're overrated. I think they played the teams that are on their schedule. I think they're a good team. They were my kind of sleeper pick in the AFC. I think Phillip Rivers is an underrated quarterback, and I think that he actually has a decent team. Melvin Gordon's loss is huge.
Yeah.
We'll see how that plays out for them, but they've done good so far.
All right, and we're going to see flag here. It looks like it's going to be a false start again.
And again, they shoot themselves in the foot.
Conklin on the false start here for Tennessee. So they're going to back themselves up to the Houston 43. So we'll see where this leads. Can they kind of recover from this? They've been struggling to stay on the Houston side of the 50.
Right.
They can get just there, but then they struggle to stay on the other side of it. They need to make a play call. Matt LaFleur, the offensive coordinator, is going to set up. Mariota's going to set up in the shotgun. He's going to have Lewis out to his left, Ford wide, looking deep. He's got Davis. Davis catches at the 15, untouched, into the end zone, and that will be a touchdown.
Big play there for the Titans, something that they needed.
48-yard touchdown. That's for sure they needed that.
Yeah, this goes back to what I was saying earlier. Tennessee's defense needed to make a play to give the Titans good field position, and they're one big play away from a touchdown, and there it is. You get the dime pass from Mariota to Davis, a little bit of a bad route by the safety, and that turns into a touchdown for the Titans.
Yeah.
This extra point here could pull them back within 10.
Yeah, no, makes it a still a 2-score game, but hitting this low snap, but it is going to be up and good. So we're going to see it's now 27-17, Houston over Tennessee. 13 seconds left remaining in the third. 2-score game.
Yep.
Still got a whole quarter left. Do you think Tennessee can come back in this game? And what is it ultimately going to take? What is the key to them coming back in this game?
Defense. Defense has got to make plays because at this point, you start looking at, yes, it's only a 2-possession game, but the way that the offense is playing, time is kind of the essence. Yes, they made a big play there, but again, with Houston having the kind of pressure that they're putting on Tennessee, they need some help with field position. So they got to get some big plays from the defense here. They did get a big stop on the last one, which turned into a touchdown here. So if Tennessee's going to get back into this game, defense has got to make plays.
Absolutely. That's exactly where I was going with it. To me, it is a 2-part. As much as I said, what's the one thing? It is a 2-part. It's not only that, but this running game, we saw Henry start to get some momentum, and then what do? They go back to throwing the ball.
Right.
Trying to get Mariota time, which you got to pound it until Henry can't get much further. Then you start throwing.
Texans receive the ball in the end zone, but take a knee, so they're going to get the ball out at the 25-yard line with 13 seconds to go here in the third. Houston leading 27-17.
Yeah, Connor asked if Melvin Gordon was done for the year.
He's got an MCL sprain, so he'll probably be out a couple of weeks.
So Ryan actually chimed in. Ryan said they're designating him to return, but it's a grade 2 MCL tear.
Okay.
So they may be fairly careful with him if they even do decide to bring him back.
Watson here in the gun. He's got 3 wide, hands the ball off to Miller. Miller goes right side, gets around the edge and gains about 5 yards on the play there. It's going to bring up second down and about 5, but that's going to be the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, so through 3 quarters, Houston up 27-17. They have the ball. They're going to be on their own 29-yard line. 2nd and 6. It's if they can get a touchdown here, does this put this out of reach for the Titans?
Yeah. If Houston puts a 7 spot on the board, that's a wrap on the game for me. But again, we talked about this going into halftime. You look at these stats. Mariota still perfect on the game, a 16 for 16 for what, 237 yards now passing and 2 touchdowns. You would think that Mariota's lighting the Texans defense up. From a statistical standpoint, it doesn't get much better than that at 16 for 16. But again, it comes down to penalties killing this team.
Yeah.
The offensive line not being able to block, and the pressure, and Mariota hanging on to the ball too long. That's been the Achilles heel all game for them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, we've said it. Overall, just both of these teams. We said at the beginning of the game, the time of possession. Time of possession is always a tough stat because it doesn't tell the full story, but it usually tells a decent story. What we're seeing in this game, the time of possession, 24:59 for the Titans, 20 minutes and a second for the Texans. Yet the Texans are up by 2 scores.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't tell the tale of the game. What really does tell the tale of the game, in my opinion, of the two, or of all the stats, is the stat that I keep going to and the stat that I keep talking about, rushing. We've seen 22 attempts from Houston, getting 222, 10.1 yards per rush, versus the Titans, who are only have 20 attempts on 94 yards, averaging just over 4.5, I'll say, 4 3/4 per rush. That is huge. You have to be running the ball and successful at it. And they keep pushing Lewis out there with the runs, and they're not being successful. What do we keep saying? That needs to change. So that continues to show. And then the other side of the ball, like you said, when you look at the passing, 211 passing yards for Mariota, only 147 for Watson.
It's efficiency.
It really is.
Honestly, like you said, the running game has been huge in this game. Field, where you're getting the ball, it's been huge. Texans have had good field position all game. Watson here in the gun, looking over the middle. He feels pressure. He gets out and somehow dumps the ball off to Lamar Miller there. Lamar Miller gains about 4 yards there. Doesn't quite get the first down, so it's going to bring up 3rd and 1. Good play by Watson there to avoid the sack, get out of the pocket, and right before he goes down, gets rid of the ball and dumps it off to Miller to turn what would have been a 2 or 3 yard loss into about a 4-yard gain. Big play there by Deshaun Watson. Yeah. Lined up in the I formation here. Watson under center. Takes a snap, hands it off to Miller. Miller goes up the middle, but he is stopped. And he's going to lose about a yard. Sorry, that was Alfred Blue. Loses about a yard on that. So, again, another big stop by Tennessee. Here's Tennessee's defense doing their part.
They got to continue to do it. That was Rashaan Evans. Just right on the stop, right at the line of scrimmage. Caught him and was able to drive him back.
Hey, Tim. Appreciate you tuning in again, man. We'll see you maybe tomorrow. See you next week.
All right, as Texans punt the ball off, Tennessee is going to field it with a fair catch at about the 24-yard, or I'm sorry, that's about the 18-yard line. So we're going to see Tennessee take over here. They can get across midfield and get back down the field.
Yeah.
This is a good big stop, for the Titans defense. They need to score here, and they need, in all honesty, they need a touchdown. They need this momentum to continue in their favor.
Still enough time, though. 13 minutes and 44 seconds left. Still enough time that you don't have to abandon the run game. You got to get either, like I said, you got to get the run game going through the middle or short, quick slant type passes to get rid of the ball and avoid the pressure. Mariota in the gun here.
Yeah, Mariota's going to drop one in the gun. He's got 2 wide out to the right. One receiver or 1 tight end. He's going to hand the ball off to Henry. Henry's going to get stopped at the line of scrimmage, but then bounce out to the right and then stopped Clowney and Watt right on him.
Jay's asking what quarter. So it's 4th quarter, 13:30 left to go. And again, Houston leading 27-17, but Tennessee with the ball now on offense, 2nd down and 10.
2nd and 10 on their own 18-yard line as we continue to watch Mariota try to go to work here on the Houston defense. He just did the last drive, connecting up with Davis for I think it was a 36-yard touchdown pass. So now he's set with 2 wide out to the left, 1 tight end set, 1 out to the right. He's going to dump the ball off to Lewis. Lewis is at the line of scrimmage and gets a yard or 2. I'm just having a tough time with words today.
Yeah, you and me both, man. Oh. It's like I hit a brick wall. Yeah, all of a sudden.
So Tennessee now facing 3rd and 8 on their own 20. Again, we said this. Their defense just put up a big stop, not allowing Houston to get down the field. And now offense is starting to struggle.
Yeah.
We can't have this. They need to perform. Mariota dropping back in the gun. And he goes to throw it, and it's going to be... Are they going to call this a fumble? I don't know whether his arm is coming forward, but J.J. Watt got his arm in there.
I don't think his arm... It didn't look like his arm was going forward. That's definitely a fumble in my book. It's just a matter of who came up with the ball, and it looks like Tennessee was able to recover the ball. So it's going to bring up 4th down, which is good for them. I mean, at least they get to punt the ball away here and not give the Texans such great field possession. But yeah. J.J. Watt gets in there and actually gets his helmet on the arm and on the ball as he's coming in, and ball goes up in the air. But again, Tennessee does recover.
Yeah, I would like to see that replay. So Tennessee's going to have to punt here. Punting out of their own end zone. Gets it down to about the 32, 33-yard line. Stopped at about the 39-yard line. So only a return of about 6 or 7 maybe. Wow, J.J. Watt playing like J.J. Watt.
Yeah.
Only can.
This is a guy that, I mean, you can only contain him for so long. You know what I mean? Even if you are chipping against him and all that stuff, if you're an offensive line, you're going to wear down as this game goes on. And J.J. Watt's one of those players that just seems to get stronger and faster as the game goes on.
Absolutely.
And he's also more of a feel type player when, in a situation like this, it's crunch time, it's the 4th quarter, defense makes a play here, it helps solidify the game and helps solidify whether they win this game or not. Big players step up in big times, big moments.
Absolutely. Ryan chimes in. He says he'll wait for our take tomorrow, but he has to get our opinion on activating Flacco as a 3rd-string emergency role to let Flacco save face and be available, but give Lamar another shot. He says he'll watch. He'll won't be able to comment tomorrow, but he'll watch it on delay.
So we were talking about this earlier. We're actually having Matt Stevens on the show tomorrow as a guest, and Matt and I were talking earlier. We're debating the whole Joe and Lamar thing back and forth, and we have little different takes on things. I don't think one way is the right way or one way is the wrong way. I just think we can kind of see all angles with it, and we definitely plan on breaking that down a little bit more tomorrow. I'm looking forward to getting into it and looking forward to having him on the show. So, appreciate you tuning in as always. If you can't make the live feed, no big deal. But always drop a comment, even on the video, if you have questions for us or anything. Ryan, as always, you got my number.
Yeah, absolutely. They're showing now J.J. Watts. I believe it's his grandfather, or maybe his father, served in the Korean War.
Yeah, his grandfather.
It's his grandfather, yeah. Served in the Korean War vet, and how close he is with him.
Yeah.
J.J. Watt, off the field and already on the bike.
He's got 1.5 sacks, a forced fumble. I mean, this guy having a big game. He was even held there and still got in to make the play on the strip sack. He is just a beast.
Does that even begin to describe?
No. So here, Deshaun Watson in the gun from the 40-yard line. He's got 3 wide receivers. Takes a snap, looking to his right, throws out to his tight end. His tight end gets about 5 yards, maybe 6 on the play before being brought down. It's going to bring up 2nd down and about 5. 11:28 here to go in the 4th quarter. Houston leading 27-17.
Trying to drive down the field here.
Yeah.
2nd and 4 from their own 46.
Watson in the gun. He's got Lamar Miller out to his left. He's got trips to his left. He hands off. Miller goes up the middle, gains about 2 yards, but he's going to be short of the first down by about 2 yards. So this brings up a crucial 3rd down for Tennessee and their defense here. If you want a shot at getting back into this game, you got to stop the Texans here on 3rd down.
Yeah. And just shout out, you got 39 of you guys watching, 13 thumbs up. Keep hitting those thumbs up for us. Make sure we get those likes so that we can know that you're liking what you're hearing with us.
Watson in the gun here. Sends Lamar out. Miller to his left. He's got 5 wide now. Takes a snap. He's looking to his right. Looks over the middle. Hits, I think, Demaryius Thomas. Yeah, there for a gain of about 3 yards. Picks up the first down. Big conversion there is not only does that pick up the first down, but it keeps the clock moving. And when you're leading by 2 possessions like this, you're leading by 10 points. Every conversion on 3rd down at this point is crucial.
Absolutely. It moves you across into Tennessee territory as well.
Yeah. Deshaun Watson on 1st down under the center here. Lined up on Tennessee's 48-yard line. He's got Lamar Miller in the backfield. Takes a snap. Hands it off to Miller. Miller goes left side. Makes a move. Cuts up field. Gains about 2 yards on that. Going to bring up 2nd down and 8 with 9 minutes and 39 seconds to go. Tennessee here playing 8 in the box. I mean, getting guys up on the line.
Trying to get some pressure on Watson.
Yeah, got to Watson a few different times in this game. But you'll see when they bring the pressure from the outside, it seems like that's what's disrupting Watson the most.
Absolutely. He can't account for him.
Watson with the fake handoff, play action, got pressure up the middle. He feels it, but he cuts up field, makes a run, a huge
Big
run
play.
Down to the 12-yard line. But wait, does he fumble the ball?
They're saying he's down.
They're saying he's down. Watson with a big scramble and a big gain there. What I thought might be a 5 or 6 yard gain turned into a much bigger gain than that.
Yeah.
Watson turns nothing, a loss, into
that
a
ball
huge
was
gain.
Moving.
Yeah, if you're Tennessee here, you're challenging that play, and they do. As the flag comes out, Mike Vrabel challenges that. Yeah, if you watch the replay real quickly there, that ball was moving before he's down, so that. If they see it the way we saw it, that should easily be ruled a fumble.
Yeah, let's see it again. They're going to put it in slow motion on us close-up here. So he's got 3 guys moving. He hits – his butt is the first thing that hits, but in that shot, that angle doesn't show up. But the angle that they showed it originally, his butt's hitting the ground, getting ready to hit the ground, and the ball is already moving in his hand. And there it is again. Elbow is down, ball's already moving. I think this should be – overturned, and it's going to be a fumble recovery fumbled by Tennessee. That's what my call would be if I'm making this call.
I mean, on something like so Byard, the safety, comes in to put the hit on Watson, and he goes in with his shoulder and puts the shoulder right on the ball. And immediately as he puts the shoulder on the ball, it starts the process of the ball moving. Now, the ball does not come out of his hand. The ball stays in his hand all the way down until he's actually down on the ground, but the ball does come out after he's down. So it depends on how they look at this. The ball is moving prior to him being down on the ground, but he actually doesn't lose possession until he's down.
Yeah, no. I think this is definitely I think Vrabel makes a good call here.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a challenge for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, Vrabel, talk about Vrabel. Vrabel being the former, he was drafted by the Steelers in 97 and then went to, after playing 3 seasons, technically 4 seasons, I guess, with the Steelers, moved to playing where everybody mostly knows him from, which is the Patriots. Played with the Patriots for 7 years, signing as a free agent, and then played his last 2 years, 2009, 2010, in Kansas City, and has really gone through and shown he was a quality linebacker when he played, and he's shown that he's actually a quality coach. He actually was coaching for a little while in 2011. He was the linebacker coach at your favorite college, Ohio State.
1A, 1B.
Don't lie to me.
1A, 1B.
Ohio State, again, playing as 2012 to 2013, he was the defensive line coach. then moved to the linebacker coach in 2014 to 2016 for the Texans. Then you moved to D.C. for the Texans last year, and now this year steps up and becomes the head coach. Great play by him. We talked about Matt LaFleur earlier, Dean Pease. Craig Aukerman is the special teams coach there. Special teams not really playing a factor in this. So, again, ruling on the field is that it was there. And they're going to say that this play stands as called. I cannot believe this.
Yeah, I mean, this goes back to kind of what I was saying. Yes, the ball may have been moving, but he never truly lost possession of the ball until he was down on the ground. You see it, he's got it sandwiched between his forearm and his body, and he is down on the ground before the ball actually fully comes out.
Yeah.
So first down and 10 here from the 12-yard line. Watson under center, hands the ball off to Miller. Miller goes up the middle, gains about 2, maybe 3 yards on the play. It's going to bring up second down and about 8. If you're the Texans here, I think you're looking to put the nail in the coffin. You get a touchdown here, and it's a wrap on the game.
Yeah, you're within 10. You're 2nd and 8 here. 8 minutes left in the quarter.
Watson drops back, fakes the handoff, play action pass, throws it out to Demaryius Thomas. Touchdown, as Thomas with his second touchdown grab of the game.
Right at the sideline of the end zone there.
Yeah. Demaryius Thomas and Deshaun Watson showing quickly that they have some chemistry together as he's starting to really get involved in the offense here.
Absolutely.
That puts the Texans up 33-17, and as I said, I think that puts a wrap on this game, unless some kind of miracle or something big happens here for the Titans.
Yeah, no.
Titans would need to strike very quickly here, like on a kickoff return or on the first play, if they stand a chance in trying to come back in this now.
You've got to save face on the clock, but the big thing for the Texans right now, obviously getting the score. Now Vrabel's got to, being a defensive-minded coach, he's got to get his defense out there and really just stop the Titans so you can get the ball back and put this, as our announcers here in Baltimore would say, put the hay in the barn.
Extra point up and good. That puts Houston up 34-17. Statics, all right. Yeah. We're not for everybody, and if that's you, I appreciate you at least watching. You're watching for some reason.
Yeah.
If you don't want to watch,
I love that he thinks.
See you later.
I love that he thinks that we're drunk too because we haven't been drinking.
Yeah.
So
obviously you just
Pepsi.
tuned in. Yeah. Haven't been drinking at all, so not drunk. But yeah. So anyway, that puts a wrap pretty much on this game. Unless, like I said, Tennessee can figure out a way to make a big play here and make something change, I don't see that happening.
Yeah, no. I think, like you said, you have to come back. You have to come out in the first drive, in this first drive after this, and put points on the board in the first score.
Yeah,
that's the only way that you can really save face. Or you can get a bunch of dump passes to the sideline and eat up maybe 2 minutes off the clock, charging downfield. That'd be the only other way that you can do it. But I think if you're Mariota at this point, you either hand Henry the ball and see what he can do, or you look downfield for Davis or Smith, putting them deep to try and just put points on the board and get the ball back as soon as possible. Because not only, once you score, you got to get that defense to come out and ultimately stop them yet again,
right?
And really do it. They obviously don't do it this time, so.
Texans going to be in good position here at 8-3 to win the division. Obviously, this gives them now a 2-game cushion over Indianapolis. This is going to drop Tennessee to 5-6 on the year.
Yep.
Puts a damper on their hopes to try to make a run for the wild card. I mean, I know technically they're still in it, but this team looks a mess right now, especially on the offensive line. They've got a lot of cleaning up to do if they want to make a run and really try to get back into playoff contention in any shape, form, or fashion.
I forget who it was earlier, if it was Joe or somebody else that had said, this is just the team that actually wound up beating the Patriots.
Yeah, right.
So, and that is true. I mean, this team looks nothing like the team that we saw that played the Patriots and was able to, fairly well dominate all the time.
Ryan says that dude posts baby shark videos. What in the world does he know? Appreciate it, Ryan.
Joe says, will the Rams maintain first place in the NFC, or is it destined to go to New Orleans? We keep saying it. The way New Orleans is playing, they're 10-1 right now, right with the Rams.
Yeah,
it's going to be close. I think the Saints hold off and are able to take it. And it looks like the kickback's going to go back out of the back of the end zone. So Tennessee's going to get the ball at the 25-yard line. So 1st and 25, or 1st and 10 on the 25. So it's going to be interesting to see what move they go with here. I mean, I think you have to run the ball, but again, you need Henry on the field. Henry has been your best back in this game so far. But like to your point earlier, Lewis has been a little bit better catching out of the backfield.
Yeah.
So it just, you have to put it together, and I think Henry gives you your best option here. But Henry's not on the field. It's going to be Lewis, 2 wide out to the left, 1 out wide out to the right, 1 tight end set to the left. He's going to hand the ball off to Lewis. Lewis is going to march forward, gets a gain of maybe about 3 on the play. Clock's still running here as we roll into 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
You're Tennessee. You got to start taking shots down the field, man. Again, you're down by 3 scores here. You got to start putting points on the board and putting the points on the board quickly if you're going to try to get back in this.
Yeah. And Mariota's going to be under center, drops back, feeling pressure. Marcellus gets him and is sacked for a loss of about 9 yards here.
Again.
And there's a flag on the play.
Mariota doesn't get rid of the ball. Like, I don't understand this. You know, as smart of a quarterback as Mariota is, this has been countless amount of times where, yes, the offensive line isn't protecting like they should, but you as a quarterback, you got to get rid of the ball. You can't keep taking these sacks. It's almost as if he's trying to protect his completion percentage instead of taking some of these, you know, throwaways that obviously are going to count as an incomplete pass, but you know, you're hurting your team by taking huge losses like that.
Step outside the box, throw it away, and go from there.
Doesn't make any sense.
Mariota's going to line up the gun. He's got Davis and Lewis to his left and right. Scrambles, moves out, gets out to about the 20, we'll call it the 26-yard line. Runs out of bounds, stopping the clock at 7:15. Looks like he's only going to get about 4 on the play. And
yeah, as Shashinka Joe said, 4th down territory. I mean, yeah, you gotta. I mean, what does it matter if you lose by 3 scores or 4 scores? You got to go for it here, and they're
gonna punt.
They're just gonna punt.
Wow,
yeah.
This is a bad move in my opinion. I think you agree.
Yeah,
high deep punt.
Texans receive it here, back at about the 21-yard line, cut up field, get out to about the 25, so a gain of about 4 yards there on the return. Going to be 1st down for the Texans. I guess the Titans are basically conceding this game. Don't even want to go. See, okay, so here goes to my point. Marcus Mariota, they're showing the stats.
Yeah.
He's 17 of 17.
239 yards.
For 239 yards and 2 touchdowns. But he should not be 17 of 17.
If you're not losing by 2 touchdowns,
he should be 17 of about 24 right now if he gets rid of the balls that he should have got rid of and doesn't take all these sacks that he's taking. It's not like, you know, the pressure's collapsing so fast to the point where he doesn't have time to get rid of the ball. He's just not getting rid of it. Yeah. Watson takes a snap here, hands the ball off to Miller. Miller goes left side, gains about 3 yards on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 7. It's amazing to me. You know, there's certain fundamentals about football that don't change from the Pop Warner days to high school days to college days to the NFL. If you're a quarterback at any of those levels and you feel pressure, you're going to get sacked. You don't take the sack. You get rid of the ball.
Yeah, no.
And Mariota isn't a statue. Like, he has the ability to get out of the pocket and get rid of the ball, and he just does not do it.
He has the ability to be a mobile quarterback.
Not even a Tennessee fan, and I'm frustrated for Tennessee fans. Right? Golly. Watson in the gun here, surprised to see, on 2nd down and 7. Feels the pressure, gets away from it, gets out of the pocket, and makes a move upfield, gains about 4 yards on that. It's going to bring up 3rd down now.
He squirmed right out of that pocket. Yeah. I thought it was collapsing around him, and he found a hole out.
Disappeared for about a second. He ducked down there, got out underneath the tackle, and popped up out of there and got across the line of scrimmage for a couple-yard gain.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Again, Tennessee, if you're Tennessee, it's 3rd and 3, you have to stop them here.
Yeah.
No questions.
Yeah, if you have, I mean, you really don't have any chance, but if you want another shot, got to get a stop here.
Absolutely.
Deshaun Watson in the gun, takes a snap, looking to his left with a soft touch pass, and Cootie is wide open.
That was actually Carter on that catch.
Oh, it was Carter on the catch. My fault. Big first down there for Houston, and Houston at this point can just basically run the ball, run the clock.
Yeah, I mean, it's under 4:45 left in the fourth.
And it looks like that's what Houston's doing, is there's no rush. They get into the huddle here. Clock continues to tick away. Deshaun's going to line up under center. Backs are in the I formation. Brings his tight end in motion. Hands the ball off to Blue. Blue goes left side, gains about 3 yards.
Yeah.
It's going to bring up 2nd down and 7.
Joe says Mariota is about a deer in the headlights right now. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's just stupid.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's...
We got 42 of you guys watching. We got 15 thumbs up. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, guys. We really appreciate all you guys that have been watching and been with us. So just make sure you hit that thumbs up. Lets us know you like what we're doing. We're doing this every week. It's only our 4th time, so
yeah,
we're developing this show as it goes. So any feedback that you guys can provide us, we appreciate.
Yeah, anything that you'd like to see us do in the future, or anything we can improve on, we appreciate the feedback. Watson hands the ball off here. Blue goes left side around the edge. Gains about 5 yards on that. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 1.5 yards.
And it looks like Tennessee is going to take their 2nd time out here. So Houston with 3 timeouts remaining. Now Tennessee going to eat up their 2nd. So only has Vrabel and his Titans only have 1 timeout remaining with 3:31 left.
Adoree Jackson down on the field.
All right, so there's where the timeout's coming from. You think this is Adoree Jackson just laying down for the game?
No. He's either something's going on with his leg there. It's either his knee or he's got a cramp. Can't tell what's going on, but he's
they're looking at his left knee right now. Trainer's kind of putting some pressure on it, and
man, at an already thin position for Tennessee, now it's going to get even thinner. You know, you had Butler go down earlier, which I haven't heard much about him.
No, I'll take a look and see what I can find on social media as far as Butler goes. I didn't see anything come up. They didn't really. Obviously, we're not listening to the audio, but nothing I really heard about what's going on with him. Malcolm Butler out with concussion protocol.
Okay.
Several people chiming in on Twitter saying Malcolm Butler could have made the difference in this game.
You need to make shirts that has, absolutely on them. I think you have said that 100+ times, which is all good. Yeah,
Divine Hood. Remember, this is only our 4th time at doing this.
It's funny you say that though, because so we do a sports podcast every Tuesday night live, and I was listening to our last episode, which I don't listen to every episode, the replay, but I was listening to last week, and I realized absolutely is definitely a crutch that I use, and I use it a lot. So it's funny you bring that up, but I'm working on it, man. I'm working on it. Watson here in the gun on 3rd down and 1. Looking over the middle, complete to his tight end for a gain of about 8 or 9 yards on that. It's going to be 1st down, and the clock is going to continue to run. 3 minutes and 20 seconds left to go here in the 4th quarter.
Joe getting in on the action, saying it's our catchphrase.
Yeah. It's just funny you guys are talking about it.
It's not easy to fill air. It is
4 hours straight, unscripted, completely commercial free. Yeah, it's tough to fill the air.
And we don't have anybody feeding us these stats either.
Yeah,
we
and
have to pull these stats ourselves.
I hate dead air. I hate when it's awkward when there's dead air. So sometimes I say things and just a filled spot.
Yeah,
Watson takes a snap, hands it off to Alfred Blue, goes over to the left side, gains about 3 yards on that. As we're under 3 minutes, down to 2 minutes and 38 seconds left to go here in the fourth quarter.
Divine says he's not hating on us. It makes the live stream ours. We appreciate that, man. We know we're not going to be perfect.
It absolutely does. Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. So,
man.
But yeah, no, it's one of those things that we're continuing to get better. It's only our fourth one. We have our show where we're doing this a little bit more scripted.
Yeah.
So
Watson under center here. 2 minutes and 9 seconds left to go. Takes a snap, hands it off. Blue stopped at a line of scrimmage. May have gotten a yard out of that.
And we hit the 2-minute warning.
And we're hit the 2-minute warning. J.J. Watt and this Texans defense. We talked about both of these defenses really, being ranked in the top of the league, third and fourth respectively. But we've really seen how strong this defense can be for the Texans. Again, when you've got guys like J.J. Watt and Jadeveon Clowney with the pressure that they can put and they can produce, you got to be able to account for that. And sometimes it takes two guys on their one, and that leaves somebody unblocked. And that's what we're seeing. It seems like this has been pressure again from all sides, and it's really been the difference in the game. I think between the pressure that Mariota is getting, the inability to get rid of the ball from Mariota, the penalties in this game that have the Titans have shot themselves in the foot with, it's really been the difference, and that's why Tennessee's losing this game.
Absolutely. Appreciate the subscribe, Divine Hood. After all the joking, we appreciate it.
We do appreciate that, man.
So, but yeah, as you look moving forward, for the Texans moving on, they're going to be, once they seal out this game, they're going to be 8-3. They take on what appears to be a hot Browns team with Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
I am really curious with that game next week. That's a 1:00 game on Sunday. I'm curious to see how J.J. Watt affects Baker Mayfield and his ability to find, because J.J. Watt can get in there quick. We saw it in the game where he came in against Tyrod Taylor and was able to do a lot of those quick dump passes and was doing it in less than 2.5 seconds. Well, guess what? J.J. Watt is getting to Mariota in that time period.
Yeah.
So ultimately, what does he do? How does he respond? How does Baker respond? But, can this defense of Houston put up the same type of game or a better game against a Browns team that, after removing their head coach and putting in new administration, kind of so to speak, can they turn the corner and have a good game against a tough defense like Houston?
Well, as you mentioned, once they made that coaching change, it's brought out a totally different Baker Mayfield. He's thrown 9 touchdowns to his 1 interception since the change. He's thrown for almost 67% completion percentage. The team is definitely rallying around him. Kudos to the Browns for finally getting a draft right.
Absolutely.
I think that they nailed their pick with Baker Mayfield. It's a good fit for Baker and good fit for Cleveland.
Like I said, too, with Baker, next year is going to be a test.
Deshaun Watson in the gun here. He's got 3 wide receivers. He's got Alfred Blue to his left, and they're passing. Deshaun Watson gets pressure and goes down for the sack. I don't understand this play call. You're up 34-17. Yes, Tennessee still has 2 timeouts, and they're going to use them. But
Tennessee only had 1 timeout there because they had to take the timeout on Jackson.
Timeout. Right.
Now they just took it at 1:52 left in the clock, and now they're out.
Why are you putting your quarterback at risk like this? A guy that has already been out a full season almost with the knee injury.
Not to mention having Alfred Blue and
just
Miller
you're
that can
up
run the
3
ball. Go
scores
ahead.
here, under 2 minutes to go. Just hand the ball off, run the clock out, make them use that last timeout. Stupid play call.
Yeah, and so they're
4th down and 16, and they're going to punt the ball here to Tennessee.
From their own 40. And it's going to drop in. Fair catch at the 9-yard line. Look, if you're Tennessee, your only option is to just look deep here. In my opinion, you've got to get downfield. You've got to get that. You've got to get that great receiving core that can be a threat. While Davis and Smith aren't big names, they can be threats downfield.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We saw that earlier in the game, but we really need to see them do it at this point. I know Hayes kind of in the barn with a minute 52 and down by 2, or technically I guess 3 scores. At this point, it's just out of reach. Now you're just trying to save face. So why not go ahead and take a shot? And Mariota's going to drop back under center. He's going to take a shot over to, I think that's Stocker, tight end, catching it over the middle for a first down. So first down, minute 30 left on the clock. Mariota's got Henry in the backfield with him to the right, 4 wide out, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. He's going to throw it over again, the middle to the Stocker. I'm sorry, that one's Fisker. So Fisker is actually going to get that touch there. So now this is the Tenneesse Titans that we expected, we expected them to do the last drive.
Appreciate you tuning in, Divine. Hope to see you next week.
Mariota dump pass off to Henry, and it's going to be short. So now they're facing a 2nd and 10 there. Vrabel's just kind of staring at Mariota like, what was that? Offensive line did not give him any. Lowen looked like he just let Clowney slip past him there.
That was Mariota's first incomplete pass of the night.
All right, so now, again, 2nd and 10, facing their 2nd and 10. Ball on their own 41-yard line, looking to move downfield. Mariota 4 wide out. He's going to get the pass off to, I believe that's Davis there.
Yeah.
Davis is going to catch the ball, gain of about 7. So we're going to see 3rd and 3 now. Maybe it looks like they're going to spot it on the 49-yard line, so it's going to be 3rd and 2. As they look to move the ball across midfield, Mariota takes a snap over the center. Again, to Stocker. Stocker is going to get about 8. Actually, it's going to be about 10 or 12 yards on the play. That was Pruitt on the catch on this one. So spreading the ball out between his tight ends here. Line up again, 4 wide out. To the right, it's going to dump the ball off to Henry. Henry's got an open field in front of him, but he's going to shift around 2 defenders. He's trying to get to the 30. Fumbles the ball. It's loose and recovered by Houston.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, that just puts the icing on the cake for the Titans night, man.
Henry trying to fight for some extra yards, and it comes back to bite him. Scarlett with the forced fumble and the recovery here.
Wow.
Punches the ball out from the back, and then they're able to jump on it. Actually, Colvin is able to jump on it. Wow.
Yeah, that's the kind of night it's been for Tennessee, man. They finally get something going here that, not that it would have mattered. It had just been for point spread reasons, really.
Not that Houston wants this, but they just pulled Merciless. They did take an injury. It looks like an injury here. Merciless being pulled off the field. So 19 seconds left in this game. We can say the Hayes in the barn on this one.
Made that call about 10, 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson's going to be in victory formation here. Take a knee, and that's a wrap on this game as Houston goes to 8-3 as Tennessee drops to 5-6. Houston wins 34-17 as that was the fastest handshake I've ever seen before a game. Vrabel literally just high-fived O'Brien on his way out the game. Wow. So again, this is a game we've talked about it. I've said it a number of times. Tennessee shot themselves in the foot way too much. Penalties killed them. The defense just couldn't stop the running game.
No.
Offensive line couldn't contain the pressure. Mariota holding on to the ball too much. I mean, there were just too many things that the Titans were doing wrong. It was the game plan for this game for Tennessee was just bad all around.
Yeah, Joe, Vrabel just literally high-fived him and just kept on walking.
Yeah, it was just a smack of the hand and see you later.
Yeah, it wasn't high five, it was like a low five, but it was clearly I don't want to, have anything to do with you.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Especially, he comes out of the Texans organization and winds up being Tennessee's head coach. So You think there'd be a little bit of camaraderie, but he's like, no,
Yeah.
I'm good. So when you look at the stat line for this game, we talked about Mariota, with the passing game. 2 for 23 for 304 yards, averaging 13.2 yards per attempt, but it wasn't a factor in this game.
Mm-mm.
We talked about that. How many times did he get sacked? He
didn't have to.
He got sacked six times for 43 yards.
Yep. And I want to say at least 5 of those 6 sacks, he had enough time that he should have gotten rid of the ball and avoided taking the loss.
And this is why passer rating is a
misleading stat.
It's a BS stat. It's a BS stat.
Ding!
His passer rating for this game, 147.7.
Yeah.
You have got to be kidding me the way he played in this game with 6 sacks that were a good portion of them his fault. I'll put the first 2 or 3. Maybe I'll say the first 2 I put on the offensive line and not giving him the protection. But after that, Mariota, you got to recognize they're getting pressure on you. Your pocket is collapsing. Your offensive line is not holding up. You need to get out or you need to get rid of the ball. Pick one. I don't care which one, but pick one.
Absolutely.
The rushing line, Davis, 1 carry for 39 yards. Henry, 8 carries for 30 yards. Mariota, 6 carries for 28. Lewis, and this is what we talked about, the difference between Lewis and Henry. Lewis had 7 carries for 8 yards. That's it. Henry, 8 carries for 30 yards. That's a big difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
Henry clearly gave you your best option, and you didn't give him more touches there.
Shazinka Joe, Brent, appreciate both of you guys tuning in. You guys have a good night. For all of you out there that have been tuning in tonight, we greatly appreciate it. Before you head out, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button or hit the thumbs up button or hit both. We appreciate that. That really helps us get discovered more and helps us get a bigger following.
And don't forget to go to our page and turn on the alerts so you know when we go live for these games, because especially as we hit the playoffs, we're going to be making decisions about trying to do maybe a few of the playoff games here.
Yeah.
So definitely be sure that you have those alerts on so you know which games. We'll probably announce them on our social media pages of which games that we're going to be doing. But once the schedules come out and we know what it looks like, we'll be able to determine which games we'll be able to do. We want to try and do as many of them for you as we can. And
any feedback that you guys can give us, good, bad, or ugly, man, we appreciate all of it. We're always looking to evolve and always looking to get better at things. Like I said, this is only our 4th go at it, so I know
our podcast has grown a lot in a year, Fred.
Yeah.
Just in just a year, we've grown so much, and now we're kind of getting into this. So it kind of feels like we hit a reset button in a different area. But really,
it's a new venture for us, for sure.
Absolutely.
The podcast, totally different format. It's something that we do every week. We do it every Tuesday at 8:45. We kind of have a format to the entire thing. So if you're a Ravens fan, or if you're just a football fan or a sports fan in general, tune in for that. Or if you can't tune in live at 8:45, watch the replay. Again, find it on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. You can find it anywhere. Or if you're a podcast person, you can find it on all the podcast platforms. Find it on Apple iTunes. You can find it on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean. I mean, any of the ones that you could think of, we're usually out there on them.
Yeah, absolutely. So to get back to some of the stat lines again, the receiving core as a whole, 22 receptions for 304 yards. The big one for this one is Smith with the 61-yard touchdown that he had. That was big in the beginning of the game, but then didn't play a role pretty much the rest of the game. Lewis had your most receptions, 7 for 33 yards. But just really what we were talking about, Mariota just not getting the ball to his receivers, and also not getting rid of the ball. We keep talking about that, but it goes to say when he had a fumble that he had, and they also had Henry had the fumble there at the end of the game that he lost. Luckily, Mariota recovered his fumble. Lewis also with a recovery. So big on them. And then Tennessee's defense not really able to get to Deshaun Watson as much as they would have liked to.
Right.
Total of, I think, only really 4 total sacks, but I think it was a total of 3 actual sacks as the stat line starts to update here. But they just overall, we continue to say they just didn't perform the way they should have. And half those sacks are just tackle for a loss or 2. There was no big sacks in this game. for them. I think they did have one on Watson, but Watson was able to evade them pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, total domination really by the Texans all the way through on this game. You know, Deshaun Watson had a huge game, 19 to 24, 210 yards. Maybe from the yardage standpoint, doesn't sound like a whole lot, but again, he was given good field position throughout this entire game. Through his two touchdowns, both to Demaryius Thomas, who seems to be fitting in and working nicely with this offense. Also gives DeAndre Hopkins a little more opportunity to get more balls and get more involved in the offense as well, because they can't just game plan for Hopkins. They have to account for Demaryius Thomas. So you saw Hopkins with his 5 catches and 74 yards. So he still had a decent game. I know if you're a fantasy guy out there, you want the touchdowns, you want the extra points, but you know, the catches that Hopkins made, he made a couple of big third down conversions. He made the one great catch where he was able to keep the ball from hitting the ground, keeping both feet in bounds, just showing the value of having a wide receiver like Hopkins and what he can do for that offense. It goes without question. But obviously the big thing here for Houston offensively was the running game, as you mentioned. Lamar Miller, 12 carries for 162 yards. Obviously, a big portion of that was the 97-yarder. But, you know, when you average 13.5 yards at a clip, that's a pretty good night rushing the football. And even Watson himself, you know, again, picking and choosing when he's going to rush. He takes 8 rushing attempts for 71 yards. That's an 8.9 average from your quarterback.
Right.
This is kind of the balance of run pass that I want to see the Ravens get to with Lamar Jackson, where you're not running him 20 times in a game. You got to be able to protect him. And if you pick and choose your runs smart, this is the kind of offense performance that you can put up.
You know, Watson, how many times did Watson run again?
8.
So less than 10. That's a good number for your QB to be able to do.
Absolutely. And then defensively, you know, we talk about J.J. Watt. We talk about Jadeveon Clowney. Clowney actually had, you know, he had half a sack. He had 3 tackles. He didn't have a huge night. But that goes because the offensive line was accounting for him and, again, leaving people unblocked up the middle, which is exactly why the Texans were able to get as much pressure as they were. They got 6 sacks in this game. Covington with 2.5, J.J. Watt with 1.5, and Marcellus with 1.5.
Yeah.
I mean, just constant pressure of Mariota. But, again, Mariota hanging onto the ball way too long, not getting rid of it. We've talked about that all night. That really being the biggest difference in this game.
Mariota was his own demise.
Yeah, Mariota. And
Simple as that.
Yeah. So, again, we appreciate each and every one of you guys tuning in. Before you go, hit that thumbs up, hit that like, and hit the subscribe. We'll be back tomorrow night for our podcast, and we'll be back next Monday night for this live stream commentary. If you want to check out more of our content, www.birdlandbs.com. Check out our website. That'll kind of guide you everywhere you need to be.
Absolutely. We appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, for Birdland BS, I'm Scott.